All right, what's good, everyone? Joining up. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm dealing with so many issues right now. This is so frustrating. If the internet keeps lagging, I'm honestly just gonna get off for tonight. It's honestly never done this bad. It's horrible right now. It's absolutely atrocious. I'm really close to just completely getting off for tonight. Like it's really not fun to deal with. Do give it a second, everybody. Do give it a second, everyone, for people to join up. It takes a minute for people to get up here. Do give it a second. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. We're going to get people up here in a second. Only send a guest request again if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We're going to start getting people up here in a second. Do give it a second for people to join up, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you? So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, 18, man.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, sir.
What's your birth year?
12-4-03.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. That person was already up. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 21.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay. If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you rather vote for?
I'd vote for Donald Trump.
What state do you live in?
Texas,
What time is it?
10:23.
Can you name 3 cities in Texas?
Houston, Austin, and Dallas.
3 more.
Um, I don't know. I'm not good with geographics.
Same girl. I don't know. Like, I just don't understand why people just decided to come up and do the same thing over and over again. It's the same fucking person. Like, seriously, like, why? Why do you do that? It's so annoying. Leave me alone. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Like, I genuinely just want some debates. Like, please, just leave me alone right now. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, what's up?
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay. If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you rather vote for?
Donald Trump, 100%.
Okay. Why so?
I think he puts the American people first, and he's got better policies than Kamala Harris.
Okay. For example, like what?
Plain and simple. Well, Donald Trump's a bit more moderate than probably what I would ultimately prefer. I would probably prefer somebody that's got a little bit more Christian values, and historically Donald Trump hasn't behaved the most Christian, but I remember voting for Donald Trump in 2016 going, he's not my favorite, but he's better than Hillary. Kind of the same thing last election, too. Not my favorite guy, but he's better than Kamala.
Could you like name
I
a
think
policy of his that you like?
I like his economic policies. I think he really has a good view of economics and money and how to get money into the country. I remember gas being cheaper during Trump's first presidency and then watching the gas prices shoot up during Biden's administration. Trump can answer questions. Biden, obviously, nothing against the man personally, other than his policies that I disagree with, but you could kind of see him declining mentally. And I didn't really like how Kamala Harris wasn't able to answer questions straightforwardly. She would always just kind of skirt around any question that she was asked. So yeah.
Yeah, so she would directly answer questions. Donald Trump, I can give you plenty of examples of him not directly answering questions, and I would love to show you that. Gas has become more expensive since Trump got in office, and it is the case that Donald Trump has brought less money into this country because real GDP growth has declined since he got in office. Unemployment has increased since he got in office. We've also seen the jobs report be so bad that he fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because he claimed it was politically biased information because he couldn't believe how bad the jobs report was. Chris, by the way, how old are you?
I'm 50. How old are you?
And do you support Donald Trump?
Yes, I do. That caller before you bailed dog walked you 100%.
On what point?
You tell me. You're the one that got walked.
Well, I'm asking you, could you tell me what specific point?
The whole conversation, my man.
Give me a specific
You're
point
phony.
within the conversation.
You're phony. You should be thanking Donald Trump for having TikTok so you can make money and not have a real job, Parker.
Fuck Donald Trump. And this is a real job. Can you define real job?
This is a real. Your job is real.
Yeah, tell me what a real job is. Define that for
What
me.
do you?
buddy.
What do you do? What do you do? What do you produce? What do you serve? What's your service?
I produce content by dunking on you repeatedly.
Rather than muting people that you don't agree with.
Using TikTok is a fair enough profession. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like
You're a
genuinely,
phony,
like,
bro.
Can you define what a real job is?
You're also 50, and I feel like people of the older generations have a tendency to knock people. Like Parker and I definitely are going to have our political differences, but good grief, let the guy make money. Nothing wrong with it.
You got a W-2?
Well, I actually 1099, man.
Right, cool.
Parker's probably making more money than I am, to be honest.
He's probably making more money than me, but that's
So don't hate on the
beside
guy.
the point.
So someone without a real job is making more money than you? How am I doing that? That's crazy, bro. I must be super smart. I can, without a real job, make more money than you? That's crazy, bro.
No, you're super at twisting words and lying to people. So good for you, man. Keep it up, bro.
How am I twisting words and how am I lying?
Be
We
respectful.
we can have our political disagreements, but you can tell me specifically what am I lying about?
All right. So you wanted to bring up about let's talk about I don't know. You want to talk about the Russian dossier and how that was weaponization against Trump?
Okay, we can talk about that in a
Do you want
second
to talk
if you'd
about
like.
that?
We can talk about that in a second if you'd
Do
like.
you want to talk about? You want to pivot now?
No, I just want to tell you, what did I lie about? That's you pivoting. Can you tell me what did I lie about?
I don't know that Parker lied about anything, to be honest. I just think things get a little bit more expensive before they get cheaper.
I don't think
Because
it will
I'm expecting prices to go down now because of Trump's economic policies.
Well, I don't think
Do
that
you
they
agree
will,
with that, Parker?
I don't think that they will net get cheaper because the imposition of the tariff is to actually cause prices from foreign products to go up in the long run, so that you can incentivize them to buy American-made goods. But that inevitably
Yes.
leads to higher prices for consumers, which will shift the burden of taxation from those that are higher income to those that are lower income disproportionately. Because progressive or income tax is progressive, meaning it disproportionately taxes those that are a higher income at a higher percent. Whereas specifically tariffs, because it's increasing the price of consumer products, it's going to harm low and middle income individuals to a greater extent because they spend a greater proportion of their income on consumer goods. Chris, do you have a response to that, or do either of you, Evan, do you have a response to that?
I
about
don't. You
tariff?
obviously probably know a little bit more than I do when it comes to the tariffs. Last research I did was that the tariffs were primarily on imported goods from other countries, and the tariff basically just means that in order to sell their, let's just be specific. The European vehicles is the last thing I heard that was having a tariff being put on it. So in order to sell their vehicles in our country, they were going to be taxed, and that just brings a little bit more money into our country. I have zero problem with that. If that makes the European vehicles more expensive to buy, even assuming that middle-class people, because I'm a middle-class citizen myself, I'd love to buy a car, but a European car probably wouldn't be my first go-to. It would probably be more of an Asian brand. I like Asian brands. They're reliable. They're versatile. I don't know, something like a Subaru. My wife and I are expecting our first child, so we need a car that will function as a family car. But if Trump is imposing tariffs, I don't think that puts any burden on middle class people. That puts the burden on foreign companies that want to sell their goods in our country. So Trump's trying to bring money into our country. That's what he's trying to do, and I have no problem with that.
So actually, no, it doesn't. So the person who pays the tariff is going to be the American business that's importing the product, and it's going to be passed down to the consumer.
What
to
is a tariff? Define a tariff, Parker.
A tax on an imported good.
So who pays the tax?
Yeah, the American company importing the product, and they pass it down to the consumer as an aspect of cost production and distribution. And that's the reason why it passes down to a greater extent comparative to other forms of taxation, because it's a tax specifically on the aspect of cost production and not on the profits.
Doesn't the company selling the goods pay the tariff?
No.
I don't think that's right. I don't know.
No, I know
That's
that I'm
true.
correct. I know I'm right on this. It is the case that the
not an
American
economics
company
teacher.
importing the product is the one who pays it. And I'll explain it to you as to why. The reason why that has to be the case is to incentivize American importing businesses to buy American-made goods rather than buying goods from countries around the world. So the
Why is
reason
that bad?
the reason why it harms the countries or the companies from around the world is because they get less business in the United States. So they might try to eat some of the cost if they can in order to still maintain the business, but it's not going to be right enough to be able to make sure that they're taking most of the burden. Most of the burden is inevitably going to be paid by the consumer.
Okay. Like I said, I'm not an
Hey.
economics teacher. I don't know everything, but
Parker, this is Chris again. Hey, I came in hot and heavy. I apologize. Can I jump in this conversation, please?
Go ahead.
So you said the consumers pay the tariff. I've never wrote a check for a tariff. Now I get what you're saying. You're saying that cost is passed on to us, right? But as a free market, we have the choice to choose what we're going to buy. So if we choose not to buy a foreign product, then I have no money in that tariff, right? So tariff is being used by Trump as a negotiation and a leverage, which he used to end 8 world wars. So how is that bad?
Okay, he didn't end 8 world wars because of tariffs being implemented. That's definitely a crazy thing to say. And it doesn't give you more of a choice. It gives you less of
Really?
a choice.
He-
It gives you
really?
less of a choice because it imposes
Excuse me.
taxes. Go ahead.
Stop with the first point. How is tariffs now a leverage?
I never said that they aren't leverage. I said that they didn't lead to him getting rid of 8 world wars.
Well, he leveraged companies to do things that he wanted them to do, and that's working. So
So now you would say that it's leverage, but I don't think that it's good leverage. I think it leads to worse off trade scenarios,
Really?
especially in the long run.
not when
Especially
we
with our
not when
allies.
we so you got to realize that the United States in the economy, we basically run the world market, right? Everything is based off the US dollar. So how do we not have the leverage? That was the problem with the previous administration. They didn't want to use their leverage and the power that we have as the United States. And we have the biggest economy in the world as far as consumers go. So of course, all the other countries and companies are want to come and they want to have their product in our country. So if we say no, we're going to tariff you, then we have the upper hand. We can control those deals, and that's what he's doing. Biden did zero that.
So, yeah, I know it sounds good, but there's no deals we've gotten out of this that gave us any beneficial trade scenarios. Like, they claim things, but overall domestic manufacturing investment has declined in this country, accounting for inflation. Since Trump got in office, in his first term, it also declined. And under the Biden-Harris administration, it massively increased.
So did inflation.
Well, inflation did
Correct.
go up, but I'm
Correct.
talking...
That's not correct. Correct.
Yeah. Yes, but the
Yes.
what I said
Thank you.
I said real manufacturing investment, which includes inflation. It takes into account inflation, so it increased accounting for inflation. So what's your point of saying inflation? Inflation was global inflation because of the pandemic due to supply chain issues.
It's global inflation, right?
Yes.
Again, the United States sets the stage for the global economy. So let's not forget that. So everything followed after our economy, right?
Then it would have
Would you
happened
disagree
here in
with
the
that?
United States and then happened around the world. It happened all around the world. And no, we're not the
Right,
main supply
because-
chain for the rest of the world. So us having an increase in prices
No,
probably
I
wouldn't
didn't
lead to
say
an
we were
increase in
the main
prices around
supply
the world.
chain. Don't put words in my mouth, sir.
I never said that you said that. I just said that that's the reason why it wouldn't lead to.
Okay. See, that's why I came in earlier saying that you spread misinformation and lies, because a lot of things you say you can't back up, and you just say them out your ass. So
What did I say that I can't back up?
that the United States does not set the stage for the global economy, which it absolutely does.
That's not, the United States having inflation was not the cause of the rest of the world having inflation.
It's a ripple effect. If you're on
No,
top, everything ripples down.
no, that
Yes,
was
it
not the
does.
reason. The reason was because of supply
Okay.
chain
Well,
issues that affected the entire world.
hmm
We were getting less
okay.
gas, right, and oil from other
hmm
countries around the world like OPEC and Russia. Russia because of the Russia-Ukraine
And
war, and OPEC
okay,
because Trump
I'm
signed the
glad.
deal with OPEC to
Yeah,
cut oil production.
yeah,
So do
and
you
I'm
think
glad
that?
you
Sorry
I'm
if
glad
I
you brought that
come in
up,
here and
because
talk about
Biden cut
oil. Let
What's
me
that?
ask a
you
question. Do you think it would?
you opened a bad conversation there with energy, sir.
No, I didn't. Go ahead, Evan.
Yes, you did.
Do you think it would be beneficial, Parker, if the United States started drilling its own oil and started producing its own oil and petroleum products, and other countries would start buying our oil? Don't you think our
hmm
country would
mm
become
Um,
wealthy and gas prices would go down for us? I know Trump would probably love to open up the Keystone Pipeline eventually, but there's obviously a lot of environmentalist advocates and so forth. What do you think about that, Parker?
Few things here. One, under the Biden-Harris administration, we had the highest level of domestic production of oil of any country ever, including at any point in U.S. history. So the highest point in U.S. history at that time. The Keystone Pipeline has always been in operation. It's been working this whole time. You were talking about the XL portion. The XL portion is oil coming from Canada, right? And Trump put a tariff on that, which imposes a higher price on that.
How much percentage of the strategic oil reserve did Biden sell during his term?
I would have to go look up. That was important for supply chains at that particular time
Uh,
during the pandemic.
See, just because I seem
yeah,
to
you sold it.
remember gas and petroleum products and just gas prices for me are the immediate. Obviously there's more products than that, but for me, the only product that I'm buying that comes from that is just gas for my motor vehicle. I seem to remember prices going up during the Biden administration rather than the Trump administration.
But that's not
hmm
because of the Biden administration. That's called a correlation causation fallacy. Just because two things are associated
Well,
doesn't mean one
I'm not
caused the other.
blaming I'm not blaming Biden necessarily. Sorry, I don't mean to do the correlation causation fallacy. Of course not, but I do generally think, though, generally that Biden's economic policies were worse than Trump's.
Well, we could point to and specifically ask like what you think in terms of the economic policies, but one thing I could address in terms of energy production is that Trump has got a lot of the investments in renewable energy production here in the United States through the Inflation Reduction Act and the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which specifically I think is really important for domestic energy production, for us being more energy independent, and for us addressing the energy needs of the future. And I think that Donald Trump gutting that is actually antithetical to us being able to do that and to be able to produce our own energy. I don't think it should just be like a single, like just only use oil, right? I think we should be multifaceted in our approach. And I think in the long run, we're going to probably want to go off of like fossil fuels and oil, especially as much as we possibly can, because we
I don't
realize
think
that it
that's
has,
ever going to be possible, though.
it
I
is.
feel like it's really far fetched because
It's not.
all the ships and all the vehicles that ferry, you know, because we have to mine the lithium in order to make the batteries that go in your electrical vehicles, all the parts that are manufactured for those electrical vehicles. Our world runs on fossil fuels. So if our world ever shifts away fully from fossil fuels, you and I both are going to be long gone. It's going to take hundreds of years
Oh, it's not
because
going
our
to take
world
hundreds
runs.
of years, but we could do
Oh,
that
it
within our
absolutely will.
lifetime.
Our
No,
world
no, no.
runs on fossil fuels.
I actually totally disagree with you. I think within our lifetime, well, maybe at least I don't know how old you are, I forgot. But in my lifetime,
I'm
I think that
28.
I think within both of our lifetimes that we're going to have, like a change in the way that we use energy to mostly off of fossil fuels. I'm not saying we can 100% overnight just change. Like, that's not my argument. I think that it's over time we're going to trend towards this, and saying that we should make the necessary investments into this is not saying 100% transition. It's saying that make the necessary investments so that we can reduce pollution, which is actually going to be more positive in terms of our overall health for society. So, like, I'm saying imposing these certain regulations and investing in renewable energy production is actually better for our health in the long run. So I understand that there's costs imposed by engaging in these programs, but I'm saying that we're going to have more benefits in the long run for our economy.
But also, how important is the issue of, environmentalism compared to illegal immigration, for example?
Well, I think that the Democrats are better on both of those. Trump believes that climate change is a hoax, and then Democrats are wanting to make the legal process go significantly quicker, and they still want to deport people who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes.
I don't think climate change is a hoax. I think climate change is very real. I just don't think it's that pressing of an issue comparatively to some other things.
You could think it's not as pressing as other things, but that doesn't change the inevitable reality that, one, it's something that we need to address. Two, Donald Trump doesn't address it to a greater extent. Three, because it is the case that he denies science. This isn't the only example of him denying science. And it's also just showing of an overall public health crisis in this country due to Donald Trump's anti-science approach, whether it be in terms of environmentalism, in terms of his views, in terms of Tylenol, thinking that usage of that during pregnancy causes autism.
I don't agree with his stance on Tylenol. I'm with you on that one.
Him bringing up disinfectant, possibly by injection, to fight COVID-19, obviously absurd, right? Like, we can point to plenty of the things, specifically in terms of what he's brought up, that is absolutely scientifically ridiculous and has led to worse public health conditions.
But again, these are kinds of issues that I find smaller than the big issues, because I'm a Christian.
Like, what big issue are you referencing that is so prevalent?
So previously, Trump has been more democratic and more moderate than I would have preferred, but since he ran for the Republican nominee, Republican candidates are pro-life. They're stronger on the illegal immigration laws and so forth. And not only Republican nominees. I mean, Bill Clinton and Barack Obama deported so many illegal immigrants too. But moral policies of more of a moral nature rather than environmental or economic. Those are the bigger ones to me.
So,
the big one now
you say it's moral, right?
Is the president going to put the American people first? That's really what I want. And I didn't think Kamala was going to do that.
A few things here. I don't think that undocumented immigrants who haven't committed a violent crime or bad crime are harming you in any meaningful way. And yes, Democrats specifically did engage in deportations, right? And I will acknowledge that Trump's process that he's engaging.
Let me just ask you a question. If you go into a country illegally, you are already guilty of a crime. I don't care if they're good people. I don't care if they're. A crime is a crime. Yes.
Yeah, that's like saying you're currently on.
Call it what it is.
You're on an app. You're on an app right now that is currently illegal under the law, and it's just not being enforced by the Trump administration to be banned. It's against the law, right?
Okay, so that puts you and I both on the same playing field.
Yeah, it does, actually. So undocumented immigrants who have not committed a violent crime or bad crime should be given a pathway to citizenship. I don't give a shit about the fact that they're not enforcing the TikTok ban. I think it's an illegitimate rule to ban the TikTok in this country. Same way as for undocumented immigrants who have not committed a violent crime or a bad crime, right? I don't think that they should be deported because I think that there's an illegitimate rule in terms of how long it takes to come into our country legally. If it was the case that our legal immigration process was significantly quicker, and it was the case that people could actually get through it pretty quickly, well, then I would say that it would be a legitimate rule, and violating that would be wrong.
I mean, because if you go into another country illegally, they're going to deport you, and they're not going to feel bad about it.
Wait, just because another country operates differently doesn't mean that we should operate in that way as well.
Why shouldn't we?
Countries around the world.
Why shouldn't we?
Countries around the world have universal healthcare systems. Do you think that we should have a universal healthcare system?
No, absolutely not, because it jacks up price and it eliminates the need for competition. It eliminates the need for competition and capitalism.
Not true.
Competition breeds excellence.
That's called socialism.
Not true.
It's socialism.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Public option
does not get rid of competition, Plus, if we look at these countries around the world that have universal healthcare systems, they
Socialism.
And they have higher tax rates, Parker.
spend
They
spend
have
half as
higher
much
tax rates.
they spend half as much per individual as what we do here in the United States, and they have better average
Look
health
at Denmark.
outcomes.
They
So
have
can I please finish without you
extraordinarily
guys
high
cutting me off? I'm trying to explain right now. I've been very kind. Let me please finish. Okay? They spend almost half as much per individual than we do here in the United States. It is a lie that we spend less than what they spend. That is ridiculous for you to say, right? Actually, if you look at the cost, they spend less. The reason is because they don't have a for-profit middleman between them and their doctor. That's the only distinction between the systems. Yes, you pay through taxes, but it will be less
their
because there's
system's
not a for-profit
better, why aren't
middleman between
people
you and your
immigrating
doctor.
to their country?
That's called socialism, Parker.
Can you define
If
socialism?
their system's better, why don't people immigrate to
Appreciate the
their
galaxy, thank you.
country?
People do. There is a lot of immigration to a bunch of European countries that have these universal healthcare systems. We can talk about that in a second. Now, for the other guests that specifically brought this up, define socialism.
Socialism, gathering of the wealth and redistributing it equally among everybody.
Non-capitalistic society.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
would you say that
We are a
tariffs?
capitalistic economy in such
Hold up.
society.
Okay, you didn't
Go
give me a
ahead.
definition. Would you say that tariffs are socialism because they're redistribution of wealth?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so
Because
you
it's
just
in a
contradicted yourself.
capital market.
You just
No, I didn't.
contradicted yourself, though. So it's
No, I did not,
redistribution of
Parker.
wealth because you're redistributing the wealth specifically from companies
not.
that are importing products, right, to another mechanism. And you're reallocating those funds. That is redistribution of wealth. So what you just advocated for is
They're not taking-
socialism, under your view.
You're not taking my funds.
Wait, so I want to hear a response. That is socialism. It is taking your funds.
Stop. All right.
Under your view, that's socialism.
Let's go back. You're
No,
again
address
like
that.
the other guests.
I want to hear the other guest's response as well.
Don't
Like,
tell me.
Evan, do you think that's socialism? Do you think tariffs are socialism?
You know, I'm going to have to say I don't know enough about tariffs. Obviously, I think you know a little bit more about tariffs than I do. I'm not an economics expert or an economics teacher, but the way that
Well,
I
they're
understand tariffs to work is that it brings
It's part
wealth
of
into
a
the country.
capitalistic society, sir.
Well, I have an economics degree, and tariffs are
Okay.
redistributing wealth.
Awesome.
It's a tax on imported goods.
Well,
and
they
it
lied to you.
redistributes wealth
You know,
within our
I
society.
have an English education degree, but that doesn't mean I know everything about how to teach English the best.
Right.
Trump's
I
been
ne- I
in the
never said
business
I-
a long
I never-
time,
I
and
never-
I'm willing to bet. Hold on, don't cut me off. Okay? Trump's been in the business a long time, and I'm willing to bet he knows just a little bit more than you, Parker, even though you got the degree. Congrats, bro. I'm happy for you. But
And why,
So,
then why was he
Parker,
claiming
the dude is a successful billionaire. I mean, he's rich beyond all get out.
6 bankruptcies? He inherited $400 million from his dad, accounting for inflation.
And
Now,
look
Donald
where
Trump
he's at.
specifically, you
The
say
only
that he
one
knows
where
so
we
much.
Democrat
You say
millionaires
Donald
file for
Trump. Let me
bankruptcy,
please
too.
finish. You say that Donald, not 6 bankruptcies. Name one good businessman with 6 bankruptcies outside of Trump.
Lots of them.
I have no idea. I
Name one.
don't really pay attention to how many times they file for bankruptcy.
Well, you can't name a single one. No one can. I've been asking this question for years, no response. Now, a few things to address here.
That
Again,
even makes it more special.
tariffs specifically are redistribution of wealth. You can at least acknowledge that from your perspective. So if you consider socialism to be
negative.
redistribution of wealth, then you acknowledge that Donald Trump is advocating for socialism. Plus, Donald Trump has specifically advocated for the government to own 10% of Intel. So based upon the definition that specifically people typically bring up, they think public ownership of the means of production, right? That is actually public ownership of the means of production of 10% of Intel. So we can actually address how Donald Trump specifically is advocating for some level of socialist policy. Okay, they just left, by the way. The
I
other
didn't
guest,
leave yet.
Chris is still here, but the other person left.
So I mean, Parker, you like to compare apples and oranges, just like Evan said. So you're talking about someone entering a country legally, and then you're talking about someone using an app, and that's the same thing. They're two different things, my man.
They're both a
If they're-
violation
if-
of the law.
If all crimes were the same, then you'd get the same sentence for murder than as you running a red light. So
Not all
don't
crimes are the
try
same.
to pull,
It just-
don't try to pull that
That's not the claim.
Mickey
That's not the
Mouse
claim.
stuff
That's
with
not the
your,
claim.
with
That's
your
not-
viewers.
That's not the claim. The claim is just demonstrating that a violation of the law doesn't always mean that there should be a punishment. That's all I'm demonstrating. I'm not saying that all laws are the same. I'm saying that just because there is a violation of the law does not mean that there should be a punishment. That's all we're demonstrating with that. You can unmute your mic. You got to unmute your mic real quick. And then also, Jesse, thank you for the $3. Thank you so much. Argus with the $5. Thank you. Kelly with the $25. Thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it, Kelly. Hello? I can't hear you when you're out of the app. Can't hear you when you're out of the app. I currently cannot hear you right now, man. Come back into the app. You got to see me for me to be able to hear you. He just left. Okay, both of you can join back the guest box, and I'll add you back up. Can you let me know what their names were in the chat, everybody? If they're both, maybe they both accidentally swiped out or something. People are saying my mic volume is low. It shouldn't be low. I'm speaking right into it. Is it fine, everyone? Is my mic volume fine? Sound fine? Little low. I mean, I'm trying to speak right into it. Okay, people are saying my mic is fine. Okay. Okay, we're good. Let me try to add them up. I'll look for them. Evan and what was the other guy's name? There's Evan, and then what was the other guy's name? Chris? Okay.
Hello?
Did you accidentally swipe out?
I did.
Okay. So did you have a response to what I last said? Susan, thank you for the $20. Thank
Well-
you, Susan.
What was it? What was the topic again?
I forgot what I last said to you. Do you remember the topic?
I don't. I think we were talking about economics, but again, I'm not the strongest.
Socialism. Oh, so I got you.
Oh,
So-
socialism. Yeah, you asked me to define socialism.
And based upon the way that you defined it, it would mean that tariffs are socialism.
Well, again, I don't really know anything about tariffs, so I think that's not a
You
point
don't
where
need to. You
either of
don't
us
need
are
to know
really going to
much.
get anywhere.
All you need to know is that it's redistributing wealth.
To whom?
Right. It depends on where Trump uses the revenue. Trump was saying he wants to use the revenue to bail out farmers that got fucked
Okay.
over because of the tariffs that he implemented. So it's like,
So farmers are suffering because of tariffs that Trump imposed.
yes, actually.
Can you give a couple of examples and
Yeah.
literature and sources and stuff
Yes,
that I can go check out?
I got you. So specifically, China is buying no soybeans. Okay? So a bunch of soybean farmers right in the United States, they rely on selling their soybeans to China. That was their biggest buyer, right, of soybeans, right?
Sure.
No, they're buying none. Yep. Just look up what they're buying zero now. And that's because
Okay.
of the fact that we imposed tariffs on them to the degree that we did. They're buying zero of our soybeans.
Can't farmers sell to American people?
Yeah, but like the Americans aren't buying soybeans to that degree.
Okay, so there's not a high demand in America for soybeans as there
No.
was in China.
No. So, yeah,
Okay.
essentially. They rely on exports.
So why would Trump put a tariff on soybeans? Why would he put a tariff
He
on
put a tariff universally
stuff
on
that
China.
we're trying to export?
Yeah, and then China went after that in terms of retaliatory tariffs.
Why would Trump try to put a tariff on stuff that we're trying to sell?
No, he didn't place the tariff on stuff that we're trying to sell to their countries. When he places the tariff on them, they place retaliatory. He just left again. When we place tariffs on them, they place tariffs back on us, causing our products to be less demanded in their country. So it's because of the trade war imposed by the Trump administration. They can join back. I don't. They accidentally must have swiped out again. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everybody. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat. I'm sorry for all the issues with my internet today, everybody. I'm really, honestly, really annoyed with all the issues that I had. It was really brutal. I'm sorry, everyone. We're going to get the next person up here in a second. I apologize, everybody. Alrighty, let's go on to the next person. Tomorrow, I should be on live later, everyone. I'm assuming tomorrow I should be on live later as well.
Oh,
Yo, what's up? How old are you? Push the galaxy, thank you.
36.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I don't. I'm Canadian, actually.
Okay. We are just looking for some debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. I don't think either of them joined back. Maybe they both got banned or something, or like I don't know what happened to them. They just like left. Okay. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm so sorry. I didn't know that I
Oh, you're good. Don't worry. You're good. Don't worry. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 37. I'm
You support Donald
Canadian,
Trump?
and yeah, I kind of do, but
Okay. Well, you're Canadian. I'm sorry. I'm just looking for some debates from people who specifically live in the United States and can vote. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yeah, I'm 27.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, a lot.
If you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you rather vote for?
Absolutely Trump.
Okay, why so?
Well, so I consider myself a person that's like, honestly, I've been through a lot in my life, and I think that I have an enlightened point of view that most people don't have, and I truly only see things through a big picture lens. I can't focus on small picture stuff, like worrying about, honestly, it's when you've been enlightened, you can't ever think about small picture stuff ever again, like policies. It doesn't all come down to policies and stuff like that. It's about only seeing things through the bigger picture, and you have to realize that everything that's going on in the world right now is a spiritual battle, and it just comes down to, at this point, no matter all of Trump's moral flaws and all the issues with his personal life, basically all of the, not the specific stuff, like political stuff in terms of like, like trade and stuff like that, but stuff in terms of how the younger population is being influenced and all this other stuff. The Democratic Party is truly, like, honestly demonic, to say the least. And it doesn't matter if Trump has, like, you are always bringing up these points of, like,
Can I ask you a question?
obviously, yeah.
How am I demonic?
I'm not saying you personally. I'm
But
saying
I'm a Democrat.
no. I didn't say the people of it. I said a lot of the stands that they take in terms of allowing children to be around, like, I don't know, drag people and influencing
People doing drag, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay. I have a question.
yeah,
Have you ever watched Miss Doubtfire?
yeah.
Do you think that shouldn't be allowed to be shown to children?
Again, how I started in the beginning of this, when I was explaining about,
Hold, could you answer the
I
question?
only see things through the big
Could,
picture.
could you,
So
could you answer the
obviously-
question?
Well, I think that you would have to make sure that you're making your child aware that it's just a movie, and it's obviously going to be exaggerated for entertainment purposes.
So should it be allowed? Because you just said that drag should be allowed in front of children.
Well, it's one of those things where it's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. It's the message that they're being sent. In one
It's
movie,
how you're
it's
doing
like,
it. So how could they engage in
Yeah.
drag specifically, in which it should be allowed to be shown to children? Like, what do they have to do?
well, they're always dressed very, like, scandalous.
No, not true at all. Like, I'm sorry,
Well-
like children are not going to shows where people are engaging in scandalous drag. Like, please, come on. I'm sorry.
No, they're
what?
always wearing really revealing clothing, always.
No, I mean JD Vance didn't.
What do you mean, JD Vance?
When he did drag, he didn't wear scandalous clothes.
Prove that JD Vance did drag.
Okay.
And this goes back to the first thing I said when I started talking about. I only see things through the big picture. So, like, obviously,
So here,
I'm not.
don't worry. I'll make it a big picture.
That's obviously a Halloween costume.
What? That's him engaging in drag, is that not?
Parker, do you know the people that are controlling the world, and do you know which god they serve? Do you know how serious of an
Really?
issue?
So do you think JD Vance should not be allowed around children?
Not when he's doing whatever you consider drag.
So he shouldn't be allowed around children when he's doing this?
No,
Why not?
because children are very easily manipulated and susceptible to subliminal messaging.
So what subliminal message specifically exists here?
That there isn't a concrete differences between men and women don't have
So that was the claim that JD Vance was making when he was doing this?
I don't know. You're not giving me the details of this picture.
It doesn't matter. What details do you need? What, you want more details about
He's not
JD
reading
Vance
to
engaging in
pictures.
drag?
It could be a Halloween costume. He's not reading to children.
Wait. So yeah, because drag is a performance. Halloween is a performance as well. I like how you have no issue with drag during Halloween.
It's Halloween. How do you know he's not only around adults in this picture? He's not showing this picture to his children, saying, "Look at."
I mean, right now there are
this-
children on the live right now. Am I doing something wrong by showing this on the live?
Well, it's a child.
Wow, cooked.
What? No. If it's a child that is honestly struggling with their mental health, those are the most easily manipulated into thinking that stuff like this is going to be the.
I'm sorry. I struggled with my mental health, especially as a kid, and think of the galaxy. And that doesn't mean that I would, because I saw drag, I would become trans or gay or want to do drag myself.
Well, I'm saying I believe that people who choose to go towards
I watched Miss Doubtfire as a kid. How come I'm a cis?
I didn't say all
straight
but
man.
I didn't say all people with mental health issues go towards that kind of stuff, but all people, I do believe, all people who go towards LGBTQ stuff do believe that is the cure to their mental issues. They don't go towards God, or they don't.
Wait, I'm sorry. I mean, go towards something that you can't prove.
Do you understand the point?
Wait, so do you think it's okay to indoctrinate? Wait. Is it okay to force God on children? Is it okay to force the Bible on children? Because there's a lot of sexual shit in the Bible. There's a lot of sexual shit in the Bible. I don't think children should be able to see. That's not age appropriate. The Bible's not age appropriate.
Has ever been introduced to. Obviously, that's what all of our lives revolve around.
Hold up, before you do, the Bible is not age appropriate. There's so much sexual shit in the Bible. The fact that you're trying to push sexual shit onto children by saying that they should have to see and read the Bible is crazy. I'm sorry. It is ridiculous that you're trying to indoctrinate our children with such sexual shit, right, when they're too young, right?
What sexual stuff does it?
In the Bible?
In the Bible?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean, there's a whole set of fucking conditions for what you can and can't do. It literally condemns every form of incest, but specifically in the context of a father and a daughter.
Old Testament stuff, right? You're talking about Leviticus.
Yeah. So should you be able to read the Old Testament?
When Jesus came, he introduced basically all of those little technicalities went away when Jesus came, and
I'm saying, should they not read the Bible?
No, you shouldn't hand a child to a Bible. They wouldn't be able to understand it. You should start with big picture,
don't give children.
Scripture.
So do you agree with me that giving children the Bible is indoctrination, right? And it's wrong.
No. It's
No?
way too
What? So
complex
wait, but it's not
for a
age
small
appropriate. It's
child.
not age appropriate.
It's too complex for a small child to
Should
be
we get the
able
Bible
to.
out of school systems?
No, I'm saying you
What?
start again.
Why are you trying to
Parker,
push the Bible
everything
onto
I
our
said-
kids in schools?
Parker, I said you start with big picture stuff. So you start with God loves you. You start with stories of how he sent his son and
So
to
so so
die
you
for us.
so you start with like saying that like it's okay to be gay and it's okay to be trans. And there's
I
nothing
would
wrong
never
with that.
say that to a child. What are
well,
you
I'm sorry, you did,
saying?
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just telling you to like love everyone, you know? Like it's not wrong to be gay and trans.
You
It's
love
okay.
the sinner, hate the sin.
I'm sorry. There's no sin in terms of being gay or trans when they're a kid. One, they're a kid, right? Meaning that
Exactly.
they're
You
not
don't think
engaging in
about
any.
sex.
What
So you don't
sinful
even.
what
If
sinful
you have
action
a
is the kid
proper
engaging in?
childhood, you shouldn't even know sex exists until you're like 10 or 11.
Okay, right, but that doesn't mean. Wait, so I knew I was straight when I was 5 years old, but I didn't know what sex was.
Right. You are attracted to people, but you don't consider it like a legitimate sexuality. It's just like, oh, I think that boy's cute, that girl's cute.
Yeah, like that was the connotation of it for us at that point. So that's all we're talking about. Like all you
Right.
have to say is that some it's okay when some boys find boys cute. It's okay when some boys find girls cute. It's okay when some
No, boys
girls find
finding
girls
girls
cute.
and girls finding boys cute.
What's up?
That's the only stuff that's acceptable is girls finding boys cute and boys finding girls cute.
No,
That's
no,
what you start with.
that's ridiculous for you to say that. What's wrong with being gay?
It's against the teaching of God. It's not natural, and it's only.
Wait, I'm sorry.
it's
It
a
is.
coping
It exists
mechanism.
amongst
It's a
thousands of different
coping
species.
mechanism.
One, it exists amongst thousands of different species, but whether or not it's natural doesn't mean it's right or wrong.
How would you
That's a ridiculous claim for you to make.
procreate?
Secondly,
Why
you say
is-
it's against the Bible. Where in the Bible does it say it's wrong to be gay in of itself?
The Bible is very indirect. You have to read between the lines a lot. Obviously, it also never said there's a lot of things that again, Parker,
Where in the Bible does it say it's wrong to be gay in of itself or to have a crush if you're
it
gay?
says a man laying with man is an
Wait,
abomination
that's
to God.
okay. So kids aren't having sex when they have crushes. So is that a sin to have a crush?
Yeah, because it's the beginning of.
It's a
the
sin to have a
beginning of-
crush.
It's a sin. It's a sin to have the desires of same sex crushes.
Wait, when does it say that? Where does it say that in the Bible? Where does it say it's wrong to have the desire?
Parker, how many times do I have to tell you? I started by telling you if you want to get into small picture, little like technicality stuff, we'll be here all day. But I only
Okay,
believe
you
in
don't know
big
much about the
picture
Bible. It's
stuff.
very clear. Can you tell me the
I
first four?
do.
Okay, what are the first 4 books of the New Testament?
I don't know.
You don't know Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the Gospel?
Oh, I thought. Yeah, no. I knew that. Sorry, no, I definitely knew that. I knew that. I'm sorry.
Okay, what
But,
about the first 4 books of the Old Testament?
I don't know the names.
You don't know
sorry.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers?
I don't know the names, but I
What are the
know
2
you
commandments that
quote
Jesus
verses.
Wait, what are the 2 commandments that Jesus gives you in the New Testament?
Love thy neighbor
What's the other
as
one?
yourself. Love your God as. Parker, again, I know enough. I told you I only talk about big picture stuff. How many times
Yeah, like
do I have
the
to
2
say-
commandments given to you in the New Testament is not big picture stuff?
Why don't we talk about big picture stuff
Well, I'm
like
sorry.
the
So the 2
Illuminati?
commandments,
Why don't you wanna talk
the
about
2
the
commandments. I'm
Illuminati?
sorry. You're a Christian, but you say the 2 commandments given to you in the New Testament are not big picture? Tyler, thank you so much.
No, I think the Illuminati running the world is big picture.
Are you trolling? Are you joking?
I'm not. No, I'm not, and that's why I
wait,
started with.
wait, okay, hold on, watch this. You think the Illuminati controls the entire world, okay? Does the
Right.
Illuminati control all the media,
Yes,
including social media?
duh.
So do you think I'm controlled by the Illuminati?
No, you're not. You're not.
You just
high up
contradicted
enough.
yourself. You just contradicted yourself. You said all of the media is controlled by the Illuminati. I am part of the media because I'm on social
You're not
media.
high up enough to be
Wait,
influential.
so
enough.
okay, so not all of the media is controlled. So you agree with me that not all the media is controlled by the Illuminati?
There's 8 billion people in the world. They can't control every single person who that who isn't influencing the
No, but they
society
can
in a
control who gets viewers, right?
yeah, if you became more influential, they would
So like
start
Dean,
tempting you.
Dean, he goes
They
live and
would
he gets
start
like,
tempting you
okay, so Dean
with
goes live.
really with
Is
with
Dean
like
is Dean
really
influential
great
enough?
uh yeah, but
Yeah. So then you think he's controlled by the Illuminati? You think my best friend is controlled by the Illuminati?
Parker, have you seen Hillary Clinton's WikiLeaks?
Hold up. You think one of my best friends is controlled by the Illuminati?
No, I never said that.
Okay, so
I don't
Dean.
think I don't think
so,
Dean
so,
is that big. I don't think that.
4.5 million
Yeah,
followers
I'm sure
on.
in
Hold
your
up.
world, in your
Hold up. We gotta glaze Dean real quick. I'm sorry, everyone. You can plug your ears if you don't want to hear this right now. Dean has 4.5 million followers on TikTok. Okay, literally 4.5 million followers on TikTok, and that's added on top of the fact that he has literally 2.7 million followers on Instagram. He has 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that's literally over 3 million plus 4.5 million, over 7 million followers. That's not counting Twitter, which he has like almost 500K on as well. Right? Along with the fact that on every stream that he goes live, he has literally like 15 to 20,000 concurrent viewers the whole fucking time. Okay? If you think that he does not have enough influence, I'm sorry, name one other person in our generation that speaks about politics that has as much influence as Dean. Name one single person in our generation.
No, you're right about all of that stuff, but I'm sure they would love to get him on their side, but they're busy controlling way bigger people than him who have way more influence than
Who?
him.
Name one single person in my generation that has more influence in politics than Dean. Name one single person.
I didn't say in our generation.
Wait, no, I'm asking. So you're telling me the Illuminati would not control the most influential political streamer of our
He
generation?
became popular in independent ways. Like he's not an industry plant. He became viral on, social media. So obviously, but all the people that you
But
see
you're
that
telling
are
me they would allow
celebrities-
for someone to become the biggest out of any other a political commentator, right, of our age without having any type of control or influence over them.
But he's Democrat, so he's not entirely
So
conservative.
so you agree Democrats are not controlled by the Illuminati? Only Republicans are, apparently?
No, I said all people up there. Parker, why do you know about Freemasons?
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about them?
This is an irrelevant conversation. Do you want to address the point that we
No.
just made?
No, I said I said the reason I voted for Trump is because the issues that we deal with in this country are bigger and more terrifying than anything that any of these small picture things that you could ever bring up, and he's the best option to be able to fight them. So
No,
when
he's
you
obviously
realize-
not the best option, but come on, you have to address the point that I just made, though. Come on. Why would the Illuminati allow for Dean to get as much influence as he has if he is not controlled by them? Like, genuinely, they control all the media. Why would they let that happen? That's so ridiculous. That's absurd.
because they're pretty happy with all of the other ways they're demonically influencing society.
Yeah, yeah.
One.
So then, wait, hold up. So do you think that
influencer-
Kamala Harris is demonic?
It's not about we wrestle against principalities and powers, not specific individual
So
people. It's all
ideologies.
about-
So ideologies.
right.
So I hold an ideology that is in alignment with the Democratic Party. Therefore, are you saying I'm demonic in my ideology?
I didn't say like stuff about trade or money or stuff like
am
that.
am I demonic in my ideology? My democratic ideology.
It's not about as a whole. It's about specific points, specific beliefs that go towards the dark side. Yeah.
The dark side, yeah. So which specific beliefs of mine turn me towards Darth Vader?
It's not Darth Vader. It's Satan, and he's very real.
Okay, so what turns me towards Satan?
If you don't believe how damaging it is to allow LGBT ideologies to like run rampant in society and
What ideologies?
teaching children that it's same-sex couples are natural and they used to be rare,
It
but
is.
children
It is natural. Like literally, like thousands of different species have gay relationships. For example, penguins will form gay relationships and then adopt members of their own species and
Parker,
raise them in families, in gay
if
fam,
the
with gay
Illuminati
parents.
didn't if Illuminati didn't control everything, how is it even a reasonable argument that to kill 600,000 people over 1,000 something hostages? How is that even a real life argument that people are making unless they were
What?
influenced by the media? If
Repeat what you're saying.
if
I don't know what you're talking about.
if Israel justifies killing 600,000 Palestinians over 1,000 some 400 something hostages, and that is an absolute outrage, and every country isn't sanctioning Israel, how would you explain that other than Israel has control over the entire world? How is that even real life that it's gone this far and people aren't treating Israel for what it is?
I mean, I believe that Israel was committing a genocide. I acknowledge that. That's acknowledged in the media to a greater extent now than what it was historically, and that was because of the allyship between the U.S. and Israel, which I think shouldn't exist. Now, in terms of this, like, what's your point of bringing that up instead of responding to anything we just talked
I'm
about?
saying obviously the people at the very top control the narrative a lot, and
Saying Israel has some level of influence doesn't mean that it is the case that the Illuminati controls everything. That's a ridiculous assertion.
some level of influence. I do believe that Israel and the
Do you
Illuminati
think
go
the Earth
hand
is
in
flat?
hand. No,
Why not?
I'm not stupid.
Okay, so you're saying it's stupid to believe things with no evidence?
Right.
Then you just called yourself stupid.
What is my
You
what am I
believe
believing?
the Illuminati controls everything with absolutely no evidence.
Do you want to look at Hillary Clinton's WikiLeaks saying that she sacrifices?
None of this indicates that the Illuminati controls everything.
How does it not?
How does it not? Because it doesn't
Yeah,
show me. Tell me what indicates that.
her and her husband were in the Skull and Bones Society in Yale, which only the people at the top of the world can get into, and it's satanic.
So where'd you get this source from?
Only Twitter, because it's the only place with
Twitter, dude. Come on, Alex Jones. I actually went to Alex Jones's Twitter, and he said it. So
not Alex Jones, because I do think Alex Jones, as good of a person he is slightly controlled. But
Alex Jones is controlled. Do you think
Parker,
I'm
if
controlled?
no,
So
again, you're
Dean,
not
so
big
Dean and
enough.
I are not controlled, but Alex Jones is.
Absolutely. He's like slightly controlled opposition, but he's still a good person.
Romy, thank
He
you for
doesn't
$10. Thank you.
ever.
I'm sorry.
doesn't-
Dean has more influence than Alex Jones.
He absolutely does not. Going live and whatever having as big of a platform as Dean has can't compare to the amount of actual adults
Really?
like
Did
people
Alex
who-
Jones get 200 million views on all of his videos on just Instagram in the past month? No, definitely did not.
Obviously there are people here and there like Nick Fuentes who get out of their reach and they can't control how successful they are. It happens, but
That was so cringe for you to say that. That was actually the most cringe thing I've ever heard.
why?
Right? Why'd you just randomly bring up Nick Fuentes, a fucking white supremacist?
Because if you think about it, what Nick is just a person with a talk show. He's been banned from every app, every airline, every bank.
Because he denies how many people died in the Holocaust.
Do you know it's statistically, it's literally not possible for it to be
don't
6
do that.
million.
Oh, you
6
see,
million.
do you see what I mean? Wow, look at that. Crazy. Literally denies the Holocaust. Look at that. Insane. Absolutely insane. Tracy, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Raven, thank you for the $5 as well. Atreyu, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $10. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty, everyone. Let's get on to the next person. Probably do 1 or 2 more conversations for tonight, everyone. I'm really kind of just pissed off with how the stream went today. Like, the internet is so annoying. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 22.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's your birth year?
2019. Oh, my bad. 2003.
What month?
July 28th.
Okay, and if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you rather vote for?
I'd probably vote for Trump. I mean, yeah, do I go for Trump?
Okay, why so?
I mean, with the political and economic state of the world, like, I feel like they're both in hard situations, situationships and with all that. But
What do you support about
with
Trump?
what Trump did, I mean, I think he's a decent president. He gets a lot of hate for what he did during, the war with Gaza and everything and the Israelites and stuff.
So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. Atreyu, thank you so much for the appreciate the $10. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go on to the next person, everyone. If you want to support me, as always, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Linktree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube, as well as you can support me over YouTube Super Chat in the pinned comment on my YouTube, everybody. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates. Ivan, thank you for the membership subscription. Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Parker, I'm 31.
Do you support Donald Trump?
I did vote for Donald Trump. I actually, if I can, because I did vote for Donald Trump, and my support for him has severely wavered. With that being said,
if you could go back in time and you could either vote
support...
for Donald, if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who would you rather vote for?
I really don't know, but I would. I don't know. I'm trying to articulate this. I'm not quite ready to be a Democrat, and the Republicans have severely let me down. So I would just love to get your, kind of opinion on.
Hey man,
why
I really appreciate you. I don't mean to cut you off. I am just looking for people who are in their support for Trump. If you're kind of on the edge, you don't know which one you're supporting quite yet, in terms of who you'd vote for, then I would just recommend watching the streams, and I probably will answer your question in terms of just the different arguments that I have with people. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? So the next person, only send a guest request if you meet that set of criteria listed on the TikTok screen. We are just looking for some debates, everybody.
Oh.
Yo, what's up? How old are you?
33.
Do you support Donald Trump?
Absolutely.
Okay, if you could go back in time and you could either vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, who'd you rather vote for?
Oh, Donald Trump, hands down. There's no debate there.
Okay, why so?
I mean, Kamala Harris had nothing to stand on. She didn't really have any policy.
She
They
did.
had she did, and she made up a bunch of random mumbo jumbo. I could not even understand half the crap she was talking about. But honestly, you got to play off of she was a vice president with her presidency with Joe Biden. I don't see anything in my favor that they accomplished.
Yeah, so there was the Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, the American Rescue Plan. All of those were great policies, and those were things that she helped influence to get passed, like the Inflation Reduction Act, the largest investment in renewable energy ever, and the $35 cap on insulin for those that are on Medicare. So that is absolutely policy. Now, could I ask you a question? Could you name a single thing that J.D. Vance has done as vice president?
J.D. Vance is at least out in public. He's talking to people. He's getting situations under control whenever there's arguments, whenever there's fights. He's right in the front doing
So
what he's got to do.
what
He's
has
being
he? What
seen.
has he
He's talking
done?
to the news.
What
Well,
has he
it's not
done
really-
as vice president? You
I-
can't just say he's talking to people. That's not something he's
He's out there.
specifically
Was
done as vice
Kamala ever
president.
out there? But what did Kamala do?
Kamala. So again,
What
you're
does she
not-
do?
We will talk about that in a second. I already gave you examples.
Yeah.
I literally just gave you examples. Can you give me a single thing
Yeah,
that
but-
J.D. Vance has done as vice president?
Well, you just said that she helped with all the agenda that Joe Biden did.
I
And
said
that's not
she
really
was
an
a
answer.
tie.
That's what you guys do best, Parker. You're a very intelligent guy.
You're
But
not.
That's what you guys do. You spin things.
I told you that it is the case that she did the tie-breaking vote for the Inflation Reduction Act. That's something she specifically did. That is not just that she specifically just
But
said
that's
it.
not doing
She
anything.
speci-
There was a vote with the Senate, and she held a tiebreaker. That's not really achieving much.
That is doing something, right? I'll give you
That's
other
like
examples.
saying I woke up
She
in the
raised-
morning and I
she
took a breath
raised-
of air.
What? No, it's not. It's literally
Yeah, that's
saying
not
that she
doing it.
voted.
She didn't do anything. She just voted.
She voted for it to get passed. I'm sorry. That's literally something that she did. She voted like every other person in Congress. You have to unmute your mic.
All right, there. Is that better?
Yeah, she voted like anyone else in
But-
Congress.
All right, but they had, 4 years, right? J.D. Vance has been in office with Trump now for not even 1 year. So we're comparing 4 years to a couple months. So there hasn't been so much that could be done yet because we're just getting the ball rolling.
Okay. Can you name one thing that a vice president has done in U.S. history as vice president?
I honestly, I'm not looking at the vice president aspects. I don't feel like I know
Exactly.
enough information what the vice president does. I don't think that's really they're there.
So
kind
if
of
you
more
don't
of a
know
just in
anything
case.
a vice president has done in U.S. history, then you know nothing about vice presidents. You can't make a
Yeah,
claim
but we're
about
not
what
talking about vice. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, I'm
we
not
were.
talking about.
We were. Kamala Harris was a vice president. So when you say that you don't know anything that a vice president has done in U.S. history, that tells me you don't know enough about what Kamala Harris did as vice president to say that she didn't do enough. You have to unmute your microphone. HS Morg, I don't believe that. I don't believe he's
How does it
advocating for
keep- I
people
don't know why he
to
keeps
get
muting me.
doxxed. I disagree with advocating for people to get doxxed.
But it's like we said, we're two different sides. You can agree with your views, I can agree with my views. But honestly, at this point of view, the way that I look at things and my values in life, the Democratic Party just does not suit my lifestyle. They're against. They're against. They want abortions to just be legal all around. For me, I don't. I'm not for that, and I'm not saying one's right or wrong, but that's just my beliefs. And you're asking why I support Donald Trump because he supports the same belief system that I was raised on and grew up on. Another thing, he's for tax cuts for the local families and everybody else.
We can talk
Everybody
about this
wants
in
to
a
say that
second.
that's for.
What were we just? I brought up stuff, and you're completely pivoting and not talking about what I was talking about.
Well, you're asking me about vice presidents, but the whole conversation is supposed to be why do I support Trump, not why I support
No,
J.D. Vance. or
what
Kamala.
point did I take from that? The point I took from that was that you know nothing about what any vice president did in U.S. history. You don't know enough about what she did as vice president to claim that she didn't do enough. Is that
Again,
clear?
why is well, okay, let me give you an example. One thing I can remember that Kamala was in charge of. Kamala was in charge, whatever her name is. Well, you know what I'm talking about. She was in charge of being the border czar for the border with immigration coming through. How did she do? She was honestly the worst candidate you guys could have done. She was literally a laughing. She seemed like she was drunk all the time. She didn't do anything. That was the only thing that I can remember that they gave her access to do. And I remember nothing was done. We had the worst immigration numbers, people coming over illegally when they were president under the Biden administration that I've ever seen. And they said, oh, well, we can't. Trump came in and it was done within the first 2 months. They're the lowest border crossing that's ever been seen in I don't know how long, which is nuts. So they could have done it. I'm not saying that they're completely, but they chose not to. And I feel like she just never really did what she was supposed to do. That was the only thing that I know that I remember hearing that she was supposed to do. One assignment that I can remember that she had the responsibility of, and nothing changed. And it's not me trying to argue or nothing, but that's my perspective of how I remember everything going down. So I don't know. Again, we're getting into the vice president thing. I'm here to talk about more why I support Trump in a sense. And again, I don't know if it's. I'm not trying to blame
Can I respond
Kamala
now?
for her downfalls.
Kamala.
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
You know what pisses me off the most is when I show you something and then you just
Mhm.
don't listen to it at all. You said
Well, what are you
again.
showing me that I'm not listening to?
Yeah, I'll tell you. You said again that she didn't do anything. After I just
Mhm.
gave you many things that she did. I think that's incredibly disingenuous. I think it's dishonest. And it shows that you're not like truthfully engaging here. She did not seem like she was drunk. That's a completely made up lie. She wasn't border czar. That's another made up lie. The authority that she was granted at the border was to raise private funds for Central American countries to reduce the likelihood of them coming here based upon economic insecurity. And she raised over $5 billion in private funds to do so. That was the only authority that she was granted. No other authority was she granted at the border.
She was granted she was supposed to go down there. She was supposed to talk to the border patrol. She was supposed to see what's going on. I don't even think she went down there.
She did.
Don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure. But why has nothing changed? But again, I'm not going to blame this on Kamala Harris. She was not president. This was a Biden administration.
Things did change in Kamala.
They never. It changed when Trump came into power. That's
It
when the
changed
numbers
prior to
drastically
Trump getting in
changed.
office, because the end of the Biden-Harris administration, there were lower levels of border crossings on a daily basis than the end of Trump's first term. So yes, border crossings did come down by the end of the Biden administration.
Wait, so you're literally telling me Biden had this all under control? The border crossings?
Yes.
Bro, come on, Farker. See the lady before or whatever that was talking, she had some points, but she was a little bit loony, right? The thing is, Illuminati bullcrap. I don't know. I always wondered if you and Dean, are you guys just talking? You guys talk really well. You're good at saying what you got to say, but like, Illuminati's crazy. But are you guys paid for your spokesmanship for talking? Do you guys get paid by certain people to talk? Because you guys are great talkers, very great debaters.
Yeah, I'll tell you who I get paid by. Sensitive, thank you for the $2. Thank you. Boomer, thank you for the $2. I really appreciate it. Jamie, thank you for the $5. Really appreciate it. Super Bowl Joel, thank you so much for the $5. Romy, thank you for the $10. And Othini, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Barrera, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Juliana, thank you so much for the $5. Issa, thank you so much for the $25 on PayPal. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Kristen, thank you so much for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Tracy, thank you for the $5. Lily,
do you
thank
think
you
the
for the
world
$10.
is
Thank you so
a more
much.
peaceful place
W. Scotty.
with Trump as president?
No, I think it's less of a peaceful place. Now, in terms
All
of
around the world. I'm not
point,
talking about just United States. I'm talking about
let
the
me
world.
can I fully address the points like that you make?
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. So like the point you made is, oh, am I paid? I'll tell you who I'm paid by. The people in my chat that like my content and YouTube AdSense.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's it. I don't have a management company. I don't have any outside sponsorships. Right. It's literally just YouTube AdSense. Right. YouTube Super Chat, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. We'll go with that. Let's say, Parker, do you think anything Trump could do could be good? Anything?
There are some things I would agree with, like, for example, Operation Warp Speed. For example, the AI deepfake thing he did at the very beginning of his administration. But most things I disagree with, and everything that I would agree with would be agreed with on behalf of Democrats to a greater extent to what I agree with. Joe,
How
thank you for
about all
$10.
the
Thank you.
peace treaties that he's trying to broker all across all the wars that kind of went across right now with the Congo war, now with the Palestine and the Israel conflict is looking like it's getting somewhere. We'll see what happens. Because honestly, this is all in Israel's hand, what's going to go down. But he's trying to broker peace. He's not trying war anywhere. He's trying to broker peace deals everywhere.
He bombed Iran.
Is that wrong?
He's bombed Iran.
Honestly, I don't agree with the bombing Iran. I don't think we should have got in there. That's something I can.
That's not the only thing I was going to say. So he's bombed Iran. He's also bombed boats of literally civilians right off of the coast of Venezuela, right? And it is the case that he did so on 4 different occasions. Yeah, there was no evidence.
Were those civilians?
Yes, there was no evidence that there was.
Did you see those boats? Do you think you have better information than the U.S. government does? Do you think they just blow random people out? Come on, Parker, bro. You're smarter than I am even. So you gotta come on, give me a real answer. Do you literally think there's blowing up whoever comes up on boats? Those are drug mule boats. They're very common. They're very much the same. You see them all around the board. Now, is it possible? But they're not just shooting random people down. I guarantee they have intel. I guarantee they see what's going on. We got drones in the sky. We got all kinds of stuff. They're not just shooting down boats, bro. There's no way in hell they're just shooting down random people just because it's fun.
Okay. So I'm gonna say again, don't cut me off. Okay, I will mute you if we have to play this game. I don't want to have to keep doing this.
Did I cut you off? I didn't mean to do that.
Yes, you literally did in the middle of me speaking.
Okay, go.
Okay, so again, he absolutely bombed civilians. There was no evidence that they were drug boats. The claim that you're making that they were drug boats, they have no substantiated evidence for that. Okay, They did absolutely just bomb and drone strike people in international waters where we do not have jurisdiction over, right? Without reason, without evidence. Literally, you're saying, "Oh, we must have they must have evidence we don't have." Where is that? They have to demonstrate that. They have to show the evidence.
Can I respond? I don't mean to cut you off. I just talk a lot. I'm a driver. I get a lot of words over there. So like I said, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm actually appreciating you having a conversation. Again, like the way you're saying is, do they have evidence? Do you have evidence that it was civilians?
Innocent until proven guilty. You can't just drone strike people and say, "Do you have evidence that they're innocent?" What? Do you realize how fucking insane that is? There was no evidence they were guilty.
But we don't know what they have. Maybe it's not our, because we can't know everything they do. We can't know every attack they do.
I'm sorry. Do you think you could just drone strike boats, right, across the entire world in international waters where you just don't know what's on their boat?
No, but that's to say if we don't know. No, that's if we don't know, but we don't know what the government knows or not. And I would imagine
they have to show us. They have to show us.
They don't.
Yes,
I don't think they do.
Yes,
we don't need to know everything that happens. There was like one person asked one time. They asked Donald Trump, "What are you gonna do with?" I don't remember. This was his first presidency. I don't remember.
They have to show evidence. If they don't show evidence, they can just drone strike whoever they want without showing anything. So, if I was president, are you saying I could just drone strike whoever I want and just say that they had drugs? I could fucking drone strike Trump and say that he was child sex trafficking.
Okay, well, he's the president, so that's what I'm saying. We are not the president of the United States. Him and the U.S. government decides what action they're going to take in the military.
If he can do this,
we don't decide that.
If he can do this without any evidence, what would stop him from drone striking his political opponents?
Well, no, that's the thing, though. We have the Senate in place. We have all the congressmen. They're there to hold him accountable. So it's not our job to. But so that's what I'm saying. So there are people in power.
So frustrating.
Why is it frustrating?
Because you're not listening. Okay.
Okay. Tell me again. I'll listen.
Just do it. If he doesn't need to provide evidence, right? Congress can't hold him account for anything. He didn't have to provide evidence in this scenario, right? So if he can just, if his political opponents are in international waters, can he just drone strike them, claiming that they were helping, like crime trafficking organizations?
Okay, so you're saying he doesn't have to provide evidence. What if he is providing evidence? He doesn't have to provide evidence to us. He has to show Congress. I believe he has to show Congress.
He didn't show
Congress. Any strikes are done.
Congress had nothing to do with this.
What? How bad the Democrats are against him? How come I haven't heard of one Democrat trying to fight this?
Are you fucking kidding me? You haven't heard a single Democrat say...
Let me hear.
Democrats have been screaming this from the fucking top of the skyscrapers. What are you talking about?
Who? I haven't heard it yet. I haven't. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Literally every fucking Democrat. Literally everyone.
I'm saying everyone doesn't make who?
AOC.
AOC.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala's not in the government anymore. She's not a senator. She's not nothing. She doesn't have access to this information.
I'll give you people in the government then. Like literally AOC, right? Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, J.B. Pritzker, James Tellerico, Cory Booker even, right? Fucking everyone. I can point to everyone. Fucking literally Rand Paul. Fucking Rand Paul. You want to respond?
Sorry, yeah, like I said, I didn't know I'm cutting you off. Let me know when I'm talking too much.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, honestly, whatever it is, you can side with the Democrats. Honestly, the Democrats, I'm not even against Democrats or Republican, but if they would have had a good candidate, maybe it would have been another. I wish they would have let RFK be their candidate. RFK was a guy that was all for the party and all for the people. That's my perspective. You don't have to like him. You don't have to like what he stands for. I do. I could have got behind it. It's not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about what I personally believe in, and that's what everybody should be voting on, what affects them and their families. Honestly, I think the world is a better place if Donald Trump is a president rather than how Joe Biden was a president. The economy is getting better. He's for the tax cuts. Joe Biden, they can talk all they want that they're for. I see how the Democrats do. My Democratic state constantly pushing in more taxes. Right now, my fuel tax is going up in my state that I live because We voted against it. They kept pushing it. We voted against it. They kept pushing it. Now it's going up again. I don't know how the hell they got it passed, but they did. So for me personally, that's what it is. You don't have to agree with me, but the Republican Party right now as it is, that's what makes sense for me. They're for the people. The Democrats seem to just be making up a bunch of shit and all they got. They're not helping anybody.
So we aren't just making up a bunch of shit. We are helping people. And again, you just don't realize tariffs are taxes. Okay? And what Trump is doing is he's shifting the burden of taxation from those that are disproportionately higher income to those that are disproportionately lower income, which is worse for the American people. The average American will pay more in taxes because of this.
I don't believe taxes and tariffs work together. The amount that we will be paying taxes.
What is a
if
tariff?
tariffs would affect us,
What's
it
a
is
tariff?
an amount that is. So let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say China is selling us a good, and it costs China $10 to make this good, and they're selling it
Can I,
to
can I
us,
have a
and we have to
definition?
buy
Can I
it.
have a definition? I don't want an example. I want a definition.
You can. It's a tax that America tries to put on the other country for building their stuff in their country.
Tax on imported goods.
On
so you
them.
agree? So you
On
agree?
them.
It's a tax.
But not on us. It's
So
not
you-
on us.
So you agree it's a tax.
It's a tax on them, yes. In a sense. You could say it that way, yes.
It's
A tariff can be a
no.
tax on another country.
No, it's a tax on us. It's a tax on American importing businesses, right? And it's
So you
passed
say
on-
that. I run my own business. I transport goods and whatnot. That's what I do. I understand what you're saying and why you'd say that. It could be that I haven't seen too much of that. So this is why you're saying that, and I understand why you're saying it. If they're going to have to get that tariff, they're going to pass on the price onto the consumer, the people that buy the products. That's what your guys' fight is, and that's what you're trying to say. For me, the way I look at it is everybody is freaking out about the tariff thing because they're like, oh my God, it's going to be a 10% tariff on a $150 pair of shoes. That's not the case. The tariff goes on the manufacturer's price. So that shoe that they charge $150 for, it costs only $5 to manufacture. That 10% tariff is going to go on that $5. What is that, 50 cents? Well, now Nike, instead of selling their shoe for $150, they're going to try to tell us, oh, we're going to raise the prices because of tariffs. The tariffs aren't hurting nobody because the manufacturing cost is almost nothing overseas. So the profit margin for the big companies is still so huge, there doesn't have to be any tariff. So a good company would not pass that tariff on to the customer because it's not going to hurt them. A $10 pair of shoes to make, let's say even 100% tariff, whatever, what $100, but it's obviously not going to be that much. Right now with China it is, but let's say 10 to 20%. That's only going to be a couple pennies, maybe $1 on a tariff. Well, the Nike Foot Company, they're making so much profit, they can eat that tariff. They don't have to pass it on to the consumers.
I'm going to show how this is all stupid. Okay. One, right? You said they're making so much profit they could just pass it down, so then we can place taxes on companies in the context of the United States, and it's not going to negatively impact us as a society because they can afford it and they're taking so much profit anyway. Secondly, you're assuming every industry has like fucking 8 to 10x profit margins, where like their cost of production is like 1/10 of the level of revenue that they bring in, which is not the case for most industries. Right? If you want to look at universalized tariffs that Trump's putting on countries around the entire world, they are going to negatively impact companies, right? They're bringing in them products from other countries around the world, and it's going to incentivize them to increase the prices because it's a cost of production and distribution for them. It's not placed on the profits. If it was a tax placed on profits, it would be passed down to the consumer at a significantly lesser extent. It is something that's passed down to the consumer, right? Which is going to harm working class individuals.
So can I speak? I'm not trying, like I said, I'm not trying to cut you off. Can I speak?
If you
Okay,
can't
so yeah,
tell that
this-
I was done speaking,
Well,
I don't
well,
know what to tell you,
You-
man.
You get lost in deep thought. I thought maybe you're thinking. What you're saying is the smaller companies, the smaller Joe Schmo companies that are having to make their product, maybe they're not like Nike, making such big profit margins. I still feel like if a company has to make their goods in a different country, I feel like there is enough profit margins for that tariff not to affect them. Because whatever
not-
profit,
not
whatever
true.
product they're making, how much do you think it costs them to make it in China versus what they would sell it? I really doubt that somebody's doing a business to make something that they sell for $1 and then they make it for like 60, 70 cents in China. That's just not, you can't win there. So the profit margin still would have to be there. But another thing, okay, let's say that would encourage people to start doing things in America, start providing work here in America, start building factories here in America. isn't that a good thing to do, even if it might be a little tough in the beginning? Don't we want America to thrive rather than China and all these people where they use children as slave labor? Those countries aren't like checked like we have here in America with all the regulations and whatnot. Wouldn't we want to slowly transition everything? Wouldn't we want to be an independent country to not have to depend on China? Like right now with what's going on with all this crap going on with China and the tariffs, it's kind of scary to think, oh, China's going to screw us. We're going to have a trade war. Why do we have to depend on these people? Why don't we slowly try to bring things back to America? And honestly, you can hate Trump all you want, but that is what he wants. Doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight because you can't. You can't just say, boom, snap my fingers, everybody build everything in America. We don't have the capacity for that. I mean, you can't just go build a warehouse in a day. I understand that. But the idea is a great one. That's what I'm saying. These ideas, I like these ideas. I don't want to buy from China. I don't want to buy from other companies. I personally would pay a little more to support American-made companies. Slowly, maybe we can become just more dependent of ourselves and not have to worry about other countries. Is that a bad idea?
So since Trump's got in office, real domestic manufacturing investment has declined, right? We haven't been developing more in the United States.
I don't believe that.
Under the Biden-Harris administration, I can show you the graph. Under the Biden-Harris administration, we saw a massive increase in domestic manufacturing investment. Do you want me to show you a source for that?
Yes, please do, because I don't believe that at all. Under Biden administration, all the country, most of the companies are still staying overseas. Since Trump came back and put all the tariffs in place, a lot of companies are talking about coming back. GM.
Okay. Look at this graph. Okay. On this graph, you see Trump gets in office here in 2017. You see it declines. By the time he leaves office, it's lower. Here's Trump since he got in office. Here, right here. And then boom. Lower, lower. It's declined since he got in office. Here's Biden. Here's when he gets into office. Here's when he leaves office. Okay. Massive increase. Okay. You saw the source. How do you feel about that?
Okay. Can I give you my truth?
Yeah.
And you work with me on this one. Listen to me. At least my input. Trump came in before he was leaving. The COVID started to hit. We started having the crazy COVID crap. Businesses started going out of business like crazy. Everything started dropping. Biden came in. Everything was still dropping. And then finally the COVID stuff kind of came to an end and business started booming. And that's why they had an inflated crazy amount of employment numbers with Biden too. Like, oh, unemployment has jumped up. Well, yeah, because businesses are finally opening up. And I don't think it's because, oh, he did so, because what did he do to bring, what kind of bills did he pass to bring, what happened to bring those jobs back? Nothing. What happened was COVID was over and now jobs started to recreate again. So all of a sudden now the businesses were opening up again. So that big boom, that makes sense. Businesses now are coming back afloat.
Coming back?
I don't think that's, yes.
Okay,
a lot of people that shut down started opening their doors again, or businesses that couldn't open started.
Here's before the pandemic. Here's before the pandemic. Look at the graph. If it was coming back, it would come back up to this level. Okay? This is way higher than this. Okay? This is not coming back. This is new growth. What was that from? Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, Chips and Science Act, Inflation Reduction Act, American
And what did
Rescue
all that
Plan.
do for us?
It led to a massive increase in manufacturing investment.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't feel like that's very accurate. I think those numbers are just inflated.
That's from the Bureau of Economic Analysis. You're just, what the
No,
hell?
I hear
What do you
you.
mean?
That chart is accurate, but I think it's all COVID based. I feel like it's because of COVID, everything kind
Has
of
nothing
tanked.
to do. What are you talking
Same with
about?
unemployment numbers.
Read the fucking graph. This has nothing to do with what the. How the fuck do you get that this is from COVID? Before COVID, it was right here.
Parker,
Look at the
I'm
graph.
sorry,
Look
bro.
at the graph.
I
Read the
wish I
fucking
could
graph.
look at it a little bit more, but I'm not stopped. It's kind of hard for me to see. But let
I'm
me see.
sorry.
20,
I'm sorry. Do you want me
20,
to? Do you want me to
20,
zoom
20.
in for you?
Let me see. I'll take a look here what I can. And I don't
Holy
even know what the
fuck.
graph is.
I'll show
What
you.
you,
I'll
why
tell.
you get so frustrated? You
This
can't have a conversation not get frustrated.
is domestic manufacturing because this is a useless conversation at this point. Domestic manufacturing investment, real domestic manufacturing investment. Look at this.
Okay,
This
but
is
I got a question.
shut
How
up.
come whenever I talk about
Shut
anything
up.
good, you shift
Shut
it?
up.
Why?
Because I'm making a point.
No,
And
you
then
guys
can
never
make it
can
whatever
get on the
point you
good
want.
points.
Then you can
You
make
always
whatever point
shift,
you want.
but that's what you and Dean do best. You guys shift conversations. Someone gives you some good feedback, then you'll shift to a different thing. What about this? Then I'll talk about this. What about this? And you got people dancing around from one.
Look at the screen. Read the graph. Okay? This is prior to COVID. Q4 2019. Okay? Okay? Do you see where it's at? If it was bounced back, it would come up to here, maximum. Here. This growth would not have happened if it were just coming back to what it was prior to COVID. Look at all of that. That's all new growth. Why, dude?
I'm talking about more this term. You compared Trump's last term to Biden's whatever. Let's talk about inflation numbers. What was the
No,
inflation
address
numbers?
what I said first.
About what? About the graph number jumping?
You said specifically that it was just coming back from COVID. I showed you
Yes.
unequivocally that it's not.
Again, I haven't dug into that too much to really get an insight, and I just kind of going on what you're showing me right now.
Are you driving right now?
Yes, I am.
What?
I can't exactly pull up graphs the way you want me to.
I can't even hear that you're driving. You can't be on the live when you're driving. What the fuck? I can't even hear that he's driving. How the fuck? No wonder he couldn't fucking read the graph. God damn it, dude. It's so frustrating. That was obviously not due to COVID. My brain actually hurts, dude. Why do I get frustrated with people like that? Because literally, bro, he should have just looked at the graph. I didn't know he was driving. Like, it's fucking crazy. Let me say thank you to a few people. I'll probably do one more person for tonight and then we get off. Catherine, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you, Catherine. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Ask yourself, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Knight, thank you for the $5 as well. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. No. Silent, thank you so much for the $20. I really appreciate it. Silent, thank you so much. I do myself. Romy, thank you so much for the $50 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much, Romy. I really appreciate it. Get 2 W's for Romy in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Mallory, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Stephanie, thank you so much for the $5 for the Antifa pay. Thank you. Felicia, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Juliana, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. As well as Stephanie, thank you for the $100. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Stephanie in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, Stephanie. I really appreciate W's for Stephanie in the comment section right now. Thank you so much for the $100 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Can we get some fucking W's for Stephanie in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Denise, thank you so much for the $35 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Denise. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for Denise in the comment section right now. Thank you so much. Denise, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. It's so kind of you. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Me? I'm 33 years old.
Do you support Donald Trump?
100%.
Okay.
Whoa,
Why so?
whoa. Let's do 85. I'm not so thrilled with, I think Israel runs our government at this moment. But other than that, the handling of Epstein, not okay with. Beyond that, though, like the guy said before, most of his belief systems align with mine more so than the Democratic Party at this point. There's a lot of craziness. I think I could find myself being a 2000s Democrat. I feel like the left has just moved away from sanity. I mean, I don't know how you can ignore that, you know? I understand that some of it is trying to be empathetic to society and things like that, but there are just certain basic truths that we have to acknowledge. And to not acknowledge them makes me feel like I'm a crazy person in a world where it's like, I'm not, dude. And I'm not evil for believing the way I believe, you know, and I'm painted to be that way. Is that not fair?
No, it's not, because it is the case that actually Trump is the one that has moved away from sanity, not the Democrats. Trump said that he won the 2020 election with absolutely no evidence. Trump brought up using disinfectant
I
by
agree with
injection
that.
to fight
It's like a bit rough.
COVID-19. Trump said that windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Trump said the climate's going to start cooling and science just doesn't know it yet, and that climate change is a hoax. All of that is verifiably, objectively true information that it's the climate is increasing in temperature and that is caused by humans. He said that the Tylenol usage during pregnancy causes autism, when actually a Swedish study with 2.5 million people shows that it is the case that there's actually no association between Tylenol usage during pregnancy and autism after taking into account genetics, siblings, etc. So like we can point to how like Trump's actually denying science and like actively like moving away from sanity and like denying fundamental basic truths. Could you tell me one fundamental basic truth that the Democrats have violated?
Oh, well, obviously the entire transgender movement. You know what I mean? The idea that a man can become a woman can become a man. That is not true.
So no one's making a claim that a man's becoming a woman. It's the case that trans women are women and trans men are men. And that's totally legitimate and valid. And there's nothing like wrong with that, like at all. So
I'm not saying
that's
well,
not
I mean, like,
denying a fundamental basic truth. And also, can you address any of the
no, it is. It
fundamental?
actually very much so is.
Can you address any of the truths specifically that is specifically under that I acknowledge that are not upheld by Donald Trump?
Are you saying it's the rights to that, or are we moving on to a different topic? Like as in the trans thing, or you want me to go a different way? Are you saying beyond that, or are you saying elaborate further on that?
I want you to elaborate further on the fact that Donald Trump has moved away from sanity and denied basic truths, such as the ones I brought up that were clearly anti-science.
Okay. Well, for one, I don't know how a study conducted by Johns Hopkins and then re-verified by Harvard is anti-science. Now, because that is what the Tylenol study was. You know as well as I do, Tylenol itself said in 2017 it didn't recommend for pregnant women. Now, am I saying that Tylenol causes autism? I don't know that. I'm not here for that. You know what I mean? But I do know that Johns Hopkins and Harvard did the study, not RFK and Donald Trump. Okay, so to say that they're anti-science,
that study does not show that Tylenol causes autism when used in pregnancy. That study does not show that. Okay, the study that I just referenced specifically from a Swedish study that indicates no association between Tylenol usage during pregnancy and autism after taking into account genetics and siblings. And then Tylenol in 2017, that was not a company-wide statement. That was a random fucking tweet right on the internet. Not a company-wide statement, and they have not said that that is demonstrating of their current understanding.
Is that not a company-wide statement?
It's not. That's what they
stated
indicated
on
themselves.
the company's Twitter account.
That doesn't mean that it is the case that the entire company-wide has verified that. That is the case that in 2017, there was someone specifically that was not verified by the entirety of Tylenol specifically to do that, posted that on the fucking Twitter. That's it. It was not a company-wide statement. It was not a company-wide recommendation. It was not a determination based upon science, information, or anything legitimate of the matter. Right?
Was
it's
there a
something that
retraction
people
in
or
2017?
conspiracy bullshitters that are fucking literally relying on in order to try and make a dumbass point about this.
Did Tylenol retract? Because I mean, if that's the case, I'll accept that. But I mean,
Yes,
did
Tylenol retracted that statement. Yes.
In 2017 or 5 minutes ago?
They retracted the statement specifically when they knew about it, right? When they saw it, because that Twitter has
So
not been
in
used.
2017, they retracted it.
The Twitter has not been used since 2017. They don't use the Twitter. Look at the Twitter. There's no posts.
But they posted in 2017 that is not recommended for pregnant women. Did they retract where they posted? Wouldn't it make sense where you made a post to retract where you made that post at?
If you knew it was posted there and you were still using it. They stopped using it like fucking 8 years ago.
Okay, but like when you're saying that a random person, like if someone was
how about this? Can you acknowledge there's no fucking evidence that indicates Tylenol usage during pregnancy causes autism? Can you acknowledge that?
I cannot acknowledge that because Johns Hopkins.
You can't acknowledge that? Holy fuck, dude.
I
Holy
don't
fuck.
know, man.
Wait, tell me. Give me the title. Give me the title of the study that you just cited right now. Give me the title.
I don't have the title offhand.
There is no evidence. Look up. There's no fucking sources that indicate that at all. You know
I
what?
mean, hey, listen. I'm not.
real
I don't
quick.
want to make
Listen.
you angry. I'm not trying to do
Well,
that.
you are.
Like,
Well, you
I'm
are.
not
I'll
gonna
tell you why.
pretend to
Can
be
you
a-
stop cutting me off and let me explain why?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Let me explain why. Because you can't acknowledge a fundamental basic truth of reality. There's no fucking evidence of that. You can search it up. There is no evidence. There's no evidence that the Tylenol usage causes autism. Okay? Absolutely nothing. Okay? The claims about this
So
are bullshit,
what
are a public
is-
health crisis, and they cause this country to be a worse country overall.
So what did the Johns Hopkins and Harvard studies say?
They did not conclude that Tylenol usage during pregnancy causes autism.
Then why have they not come out and refuted this claim?
Hey, where have they established that claim? If they never made that claim, they don't have to refute it.
Publishing the study.
So the study did not indicate that Tylenol usage during pregnancy causes autism. That's not what the study indicated.
So can you tell me what it did indicate? Because I'm going to be fair, I didn't read the study. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I mean? I'm just aware. Okay, through your eyes, I see that. But I mean, I take in. No one here, including yourself, goes through and reads through all these medical studies. We all get our information the same way. So I'm going off of what I hear a lot, and I do research behind that, but I can't research everything, just like you can't, just like no one can. So correct me where I am wrong if I am wrong. I'm willing to be corrected. You know what I mean? I just, from my understanding, it was a study done by Johns Hopkins and then re-verified by Harvard that showed a causal link potentially.
No.
Potentially.
No.
And
no
I want you
study
to
shows that.
also understand something
Not
about
even
me,
no.
Parker.
No.
Hear
it
me
doesn't.
out. Hear me out. One thing about me, just so we're clear here. I'm not just some random dumbass. My aunt was the CEO of Baptist Memphis during COVID. You know what I mean? She knows Fauci personally. She has Elon Musk's phone number. You know what I mean? Like, I've spoken to her and things like that. I talked to her about COVID early on. She said 2 years and 2 million people right off the bat when they were saying 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, I have spoken with people and information, things like that. So what I'm getting at is I'm not just some uninformed idiot. Okay, so this is not like it's non-existent. My aunt is very much so informed in the medical world. And she says clearly what you say, hey, it doesn't cause autism, but it is not a good idea. And there is a potential link.
Here's the issue. Correlation doesn't equal causation. Okay.
That's fair.
And I want you to listen. There being studies saying that there's an association has been disproven because it is the case that we had a Swedish study with 2.5 million people that took into account genetics and siblings. And when they took that into account, they showed that there was no association. So when you isolate for factors that are relevant, then it is the case that that association goes away, meaning that Tylenol usage during pregnancy does not cause autism. Okay? That's what the studies indicate
I mean,
right now.
hey.
That is a gold standard of studies. This is what doctors are pointing to. This is the evidence that they're saying is legitimate and valid. If you haven't done your research on it, fair. That's totally fine. Listen to the doctors.
I mean, I believe you even. Like, I'm not even here to say that that's not. I was actually really unaware of that Swedish study. I will look into it. I love doing research on things like this, and I will look into it. I mean, I don't understand why completely discrediting Johns Hopkins and Harvard is something I should do and just act like that doesn't exist.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
The Johns
Like-
Hopkins and Harvard study did not indicate a causal link between Tylenol usage during pregnancy and autism.
I gotta definitely read then. You know, what I mean, I gotta. That's fair. Hand up. I gotta check in on that just to be fair. You know, but beyond Tylenol is not Donald Trump. My support for Donald Trump. So like, let's get back to the real issue here. You know what I mean? Like, you say, why do you support Trump? Well, I mean, why would you support Kamala Harris?
Kamala.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm a Southern gentleman. I have a hard
fine.
time sometimes. Yeah.
So she had better economic policy and better character, and we can point to that. But I want to go back to one point real quick. Your original point for what you brought up in terms of why Donald Trump was better was that, again, Democrats moved away from sanity and basic truths, and I showed you that that was actually true to a greater extent with the Democrats. I mean, with the Republicans compared to the Democrats.
So by
like
like
Trump.
not running a primary and like denying Biden's obvious mental decline that you yourself know was there. Don't sit here and lie to me, Parker. You're smarter than that. You knew it was there the entire time. And so by lying about all that and doing all that, that was doing right by the American people. That was her having better character. That was fair for the Democrats of the. I mean, you could have had Gavin Newsom. You could have had Bernie. You could have had several other people that probably would have beaten Trump, honestly, for being honest about it. I mean, hell, if you ran Michelle Obama, she'd have smoked him. You know what I mean? So like, you just didn't even give the Democrats a chance to even pick their own candidate, and to act like you found out after that debate that he was in mental decline is somebody wasn't doing their job. Can we agree on that?
So there's a few things I want to address here. I did acknowledge that Joe Biden was going through cognitive decline. I acknowledged this at the time. I was actually one of the people calling for him to drop out. Right, I had been doing that, but at the same time as acknowledging that, right, we can also acknowledge that they won the primary, the Biden-Harris ticket. Meaning, if Biden steps down, Harris steps up because they won the ticket. 80% of the Democratic Party was satisfied with her being the nominee. No one decided to run up against her. Right? If you cared about democracy, you wouldn't be voting for the guy who incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol, pardoned the violent rioters who beat police officers, and called them patriots, and then still denies the 2020 election results and says that they're rigged. Okay? That is obvious denying of the election. That is obvious denying of basic facts that are true.
Well, stand down and stand by is not a inciting of a riot. Sorry,
That's not what I
it's
said.
not.
That's not what I said. He incited a violent insurrection at the Capitol. By the stand by is
In what way?
Stand by was in 2017. We're talking about January 6th. He said, "Fight like hell."
On January 6th.
He said, "Fight like hell. Take back the country from those that stole it from you." And then he pardoned the violent rioters who beat police officers, and he called them patriots.
Yeah, I just have a very different view on January 6th than you. I'm just not going to be able to come to that this was this
I don't know. How do we have a
magnitude.
different view? What I said was objectively verifiably true.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
So you could say.
Wait,
Well,
what do you
just
mean?
'cause you say it doesn't make it
they
true,
were
Parker,
convicted.
so-
They were caught on video. They admitted to doing it themselves. Donald Trump pardoned them specifically. They still admit to this day that they did it.
walked into a place that is open to the public.
Hey, dude, I'm not just talking about typical people who walked in. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who assaulted police officers, like DJ Rodriguez, who drove a stun gun to the neck of a police officer after that police officer got hit over the head with a rod.
I mean, crazy people exist everywhere you go. What about the
So
BLM
why did Donald Trump
riots?
pardon them?
Crazy people exist.
So why did Donald Trump pardon them?
Listen, I don't know that he pardoned everybody
He
who
did.
made violent acts. I thought it was nonviolent. And I again, hey, got to read into these things. You can't know everything at all times. You know what I mean? But what I'm getting at is that I think that trying to put Trump in jail for 34 signed checks on felonies and pretending it's 34 different crimes is far more of an egregious attack on democracy than people protesting.
What?
Okay, jailing your political opponents.
That has nothing to do with the Democratic Party. He committed a crime, and he got
It was
held
their
accountable for
entire
committing a crime.
DOJ, and he
No, it
did
wasn't.
not. No,
It wasn't
They-
the,
they
it wasn't the
elevated it to a
Biden
felony for the
DOJ that
first
went
time
out.
ever.
This was not the Biden DOJ that went after them. This is New York. It's the New York court system.
Oh, so famously Republican. You're right.
Well, I'm sorry, that's where he lived. And also, just because it's not famously Republican doesn't mean that it's not the DOJ from the federal government. So you make up a lie, I prove you wrong with the lie, and you just come up with some other fucking dumbass excuse. It's actually pissing me off.
I didn't make up a lie.
You just fucking
No,
did.
you just say things are fact, and you think we have to accept because Clarker said it's fact. It's fact.
I
It's
never said
fucking
that.
not, and
I
nobody
actually give you
really
evidence.
cares.
I give you evidence.
No, I've actually been very gracious with you.
No, you
Accepted. Hey, listen. Okay, whatever. I mean, dude, listen. You have sat there and just grifted like crazy. You lied to everybody here and said that you have never been paid by anybody, but this TikTok and all that stuff, it's a verifiable fact that you have been
Who
paid
did I
by
get
the
paid
DNC.
by? DNC?
The DNC.
What evidence?
And
What evidence?
Supermax.
What evidence do
You
you have
can
I
look
was
it
paid
up.
by the DNC?
Swear you weren't.
I swear I wasn't.
Never. Not
Never.
once.
Not
on
once.
your honor.
Never
on your
once.
honor. Just
on
on
all
your
of my
name.
honor. On every single person I love.
No money.
None.
Ever from the Democratic
None.
Party.
You just made that point up. You just totally made that up. You said that
That's
there was
not true. I
evidence.
didn't make it up.
Yes,
I
you
just know
did.
you're lying.
No, what's the evidence? Tell me. Because I swear on
It's a
every single.
fact.
I
Hey,
swear.
just like
listen.
when I asked for evidence with Trump, And you
Listen,
said it's a
I swear on every single person that I love, I've never taken money from the DNC. He didn't expect me to do that, did he? Never. Never have I ever taken money from the DNC.
super PACs.
No super PACs. The only PAC that I've ever had got money from specifically would be through the context of my original tour that I went on, the Unfuck America tour, which I'm not involved with anymore. And that was only one time.
I wouldn't characterize that as a democratic institution anyway, so that's fine.
It wasn't. So
No, I agree. That's fine. Listen, I'm never gonna sit here and just be a person that, but I'm fairly certain. I know for a fact Dean has. I know for a fact.
no, Dean
I'm
hasn't.
pretty sure you were on. I'm pretty sure you were on that list as well.
Nope.
Now, again, you have to research these things deep. You know, you see a bunch of bullshit on the internet. It's unfortunate these days. There's a lot of crap out there. So, I'm not one to say that there's no way that I saw something incorrect. Okay, and I'll take you for your word if you say that. All right, I am skeptical. You know what I mean? I really am. But hey.
So why were you so confident in saying that I grifted, lied, and got paid by the DNC when you did no research? You didn't look into it? And now you have no evidence about that. Like, you just admitted you did no research into that, but you confidently claimed that I grifted and lied and took money from the DNC. That's so fucking dishonest. That is so dishonest, it's unbelievable. Now come back into the apps and so you can see me, so you can tell me and give me a response to what I just said, because I can't hear you when you swipe out of the app. I can't hear you when you swipe out of the app. Free Percussion, thank you so much for the $20. Thank you. He just left. What was his name? I think he accidentally swiped out. Rebecca, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Carrie with the $5. Thank you. Barista, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Stephanie, thank you for the $5. Thank you. What was his name, everybody? Hunter? Hunter, send a guest request back. Thank you, everyone, for the DNC money, though. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You see what I mean? Like, I literally beat them in an argument. They have no response, and then they just, like, say I'm grifting and paid by the DNC. Like, what the fuck, dude? Sci-Fi, thank you for the galaxy. Thank you. Hunter, he didn't hop back in the guest box. What happened? Did he just run away? Hunter, why'd you run away? Hunter, where you at, buddy? John, thank you for the galaxy. Thank you. Rita, thank you for the $10 from the DNC. Rebecca, thank you for the $10. Thank you. Hunter, where is he at? John, thank you for the galaxy. Thank you. Ely, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $2. Thank you. I don't see Hunter. Todd, thank you for the $10 from the DNC. Thank you. I'm looking through right now. I don't see him. Hunter, where you at, buddy? Banned by the DNC? I know, right? Banned by the DNC. Look at that. The DNC said, oh, we can't have him on the stream, you know? I don't see Hunter. Wow, it looks like he ran away, chat. I'm gonna give him like a 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes. If not, I'll probably get off for tonight. Alrighty. Give it a second. Hunter, I do not see Hunter in the guest box. I'm waiting for Hunter to join back. And if he doesn't, I'll get off for tonight. If you're on YouTube, I'd really appreciate you hit the thumbs up, everybody. If you want to support me, as always, again, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link tree in the bio, as well as the description of the YouTube. As well as you could always support me over YouTube Super Chat. It looks like Hunter's not coming back. Wow, okay. Looks like he ran away. Alrighty, everyone. I'll give it 1 more minute. If he doesn't come back on, I'll hop off for tonight. Do give it a second, everybody. Adam, holy fuck. Adam with $100. Holy shit. Can we get some W's for Adam in the comment section right now with $100? Thank you so much. On Venmo, W's for Adam in the comment section right now. Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you so much, Adam. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. W's for Adam in the comment section right now. Thank you. Thank you so much. David, holy fucking shit. David, with the fucking $200 on Venmo for the DNC. Thank you so much. David, I really appreciate the $200. Thank you so much. Holy shit, David, I really appreciate that. David, I was planning to get off right now because my girlfriend is waiting for me downstairs. I do really appreciate that, David. Thank you so much. That is so fucking kind of you. Can we get some fucking W's for David in the comment section right now? As well as Karen with the $5. Madeline, thank you so much. I really appreciate the dollar. Thank you. Valerie, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. And Todd with the $10 from the DNC. Again, fucking W's in the comment section right now for David. David, it is so fucking kind of you. Holy shit. Can we get some fucking W's for David in the comment section right now? Thank you so much, David. Holy fucking shit. Thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Madeline, thank you for the dollar as well. Hunter is there? Let me check. Let me check. He's here? Hunter's in the chat? Where? I don't see him in the guest box. Where is he at in the chat? Hunter, type in the chat, bro. He can't request up? Did he get banned or something? He said request isn't available. Hold up. Hunter, invite. There we go. I sent you the invite, bro. Oh, what the hell? What just happened?
Hey, sorry, bro. My phone died. My phone died.
All right, welcome back.
Thanks, buddy. Sorry. No, I wasn't running away. Sorry.
The DNC must have banned you, man, because they said that they couldn't have you, like, you know, calling out the grift, right?
No, yeah, you're right. Hey, no. Again, man, I really appreciate you, honestly, having the discourse, talking and things like that. You know what I mean? Being willing to have these conversations. I am like a Charlie Kirk fan. I know you knew Charlie as well, and things like that. And I think that this kind of stuff is important. I do want to know why you think the way you think. I think it's important for you to know why I think the way I think. And somehow we can kind of fix America that way. You know what I mean? I'm still very interested in what Trump has done that, like okay, like January 6th, it's magnum opus for some people. I don't view it that way. I saw what happened with the other riots and things like that, and it was nothing like that. But fair, whatever. I said on January 5th, actually, on my Facebook, commented to my Republican friends that I knew were like talking about what was going to happen that day, that it was going to be the worst day in American history because the peaceful transfer of power is the most sacred thing we have. So I'm there with you on that, in that sense. But when it comes down to the way he's handled foreign policy and things like that, the way he handles the economy and things, I just agree with. I don't know how to say it better than that. You know, it's the question is, why do you support Trump? And that is it, you know, like.
Well, I do want to start with this. I apologize for raising my voice. I really just genuinely, in general, don't like raising my voice, don't like getting to that point. And I did because it is a case that I think that you are being, like, purposefully dense, and I apologize for that. I genuinely do. I do want to address this, though. Like, there's a few things. I do want to know, like, why you so confidently said that, like, there was evidence that was paid by the DNC, like, when you know that you never saw anything about that. Like, I genuinely want to know that.
Okay. So I tie you and Dean together a lot, and I thought I'm pretty positive because, you know, campaign finance law requires them to report those things, and I saw something with y'all's names on them. You know what I mean? Now, again, the internet has fake shit on it all the time. I'm not here to lie about that. You know what I mean? So it could have been incorrect. I don't know. It was a long time ago. You know what I mean? Not a long time ago, but, you know, it's been long enough that I don't know necessarily where to go get it for you right now. I'm sure we could do a little digging in the internet, you know, but like I saw that. And now, like I said, I'll take you for your word. I don't think you're a dishonest person to the point where if you would swear on everything you love that you didn't, that you're lying about that. Then you're not grifting. There you go. Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's like, why would you originally think that then? But like, even if you looked at
it, because
like,
I did read something incorrect, I guess.
Seemingly you did read something incorrect, but you said it with such confidence, even though you didn't really like do much research into it. But like the point that I want to make with this is that, right, like you didn't see that with Dean or with me. People claim that on the internet, and that's not enough reason to believe that to be true. And I know
That is
for
my mistake.
I know for certain that Dean and I are not paid by the DNC. I know that for certain Dean and I are not just like people who get hired by different companies specifically to say things on the internet. I'm not like Charlie Kirk. I don't write on text messages threads, private threads, that I'm specifically not upholding a particular position anymore or a stance anymore because I'm not getting a donor. Right? Like, so like
I don't think
I'm
that's
not like that.
necessarily why he said that, my
He
man.
did say
I
that.
think
He
that
literally
has
said that in a private message
He
thread.
said he won't be bullied by
No,
donors.
he said that he's not going to uphold the pro-Israel stance anymore because of the fact that he's not getting that money anymore.
That is not what he said.
He said that the bullying and him not getting the money anymore has forced him to go against the pro-Israel stance.
No. He said just lost a $2 million for donor for platforming Tucker Carlson, meaning they were trying to control who he was platforming. That is very different than saying I'm not pro-Israel because they're not giving me money. They want to control me, so I am not going to allow it.
What would a donor providing money have to do with whether or not you have the stance in of itself?
If someone threatened to say, hey, no, you can't talk to Parker anymore, or we're not going to pay you this anymore, I would view
That wouldn't
that
change
as
my
very
mind.
negative.
Yeah, if someone who specifically supports
It
me,
would make,
like
and then that group is also involved in genocide right now that everybody can clearly see.
he didn't
So I
say
mean,
that.
like,
Charlie Kirk didn't
I
acknowledge
know.
that.
Yeah, but he knew. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
mean, he
knew. We
actively
all know.
defended. So he knew that it was a genocide, and yet actively defended them.
He was slowly moving away from it, but I mean, yeah, like I found myself, it was hard for me at first to accept. I grew up away and I didn't know, you know what I mean? I was lied to and propagandized by the media in America that made me believe that Israel was this great ally, and it took me a minute, you know what I mean, to find out. And I just, maybe it took Charlie a little longer, you know, like, I mean, I don't know, like, personally what his thoughts were, obviously, but like it seems like he was starting to move closer and closer to just going ahead with the truth, you know what I mean? And it seems like it took him a longer time to get there. I can't explain that for him, you know, but I do know my own personal struggle with it, just because like I had a dad that was super pro-Israel and things like that, and like and so to come out of that the way you were just raised and taught your entire life to then change your entire thought point takes time. You know what I mean? Like you need to really thoroughly vet everything you're seeing and consider what could be false, what could be true, just like I should have done with all these other things, you know what I mean? But over time, it's become clearly evident that they are a very big problem, you know what I mean? And more than just that, they're evil. And so I just think it took him more time. I don't know. I can't answer for him.
Okay. If we were paid by the DNC, could we make these claims? Like, could we even say all the things that we say on the line?
No, I've just said that I accept your word that you are not. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why you have to keep going back to that when we just talked about something completely different.
The reason why I brought that
I think
up
you
is
just didn't. I think you just didn't have an answer for about Charlie Kirk thing,
No,
and
dude.
so you decided to pivot backwards.
What did I not have an answer
Like you've been
for?
accused of.
What did I not have an answer for? I literally just acknowledged my point. You just said you disagreed. There's no extra point I would respond to. I just restate the same point that I already made.
So why are you restating it? I answered it.
Well, I was brought up the DNC point because I was just demonstrating that you originally had that
Stated
thought process
multiple times.
without doing the research, but you're not willing to do that in any other scenario, seemingly.
I acknowledged that in that statement, and also said, "Hey, you know, you do have to. It takes time." And then I said, in speaking to you, once again, firsthand, talking to someone changes things a little bit, and I'm, you know, what I mean, able to accept that. I looked at your face while you said it, and I believe you. So I mean, like, yeah, that's different than what you read on the internet, and the internet is full of very, you know, false and true information. So I may have gotten incorrect information, you know what I mean? And then I saw you tell me the right information, and I believe you. I don't understand why that's a bad thing.
Okay. So we'll address further what you said then. In terms of the way
Yeah,
that
let's go.
the way that Donald Trump handles the economy. Could you tell me one thing about what he does in terms of handling the economy that creates better conditions for our society?
Okay. I would say that I would go more along the lines of everything that happened pre-COVID. I am in not lockstep, with that other guy because your graph, I don't really know where it came from, but I think you stated it, and I mean that's a legitimate place, so that's fine. But I think that we would have to lie to act like that COVID didn't like the reemergence of the economy after COVID didn't stimulate random new job growth that would inflate statistics. But again, it was a much higher number than it
That was
was
for jobs reports.
previously.
So that was for the
Got
amount
you,
of
got you.
jobs.
I
So
know,
like,
I know,
I
I know, I
actually
know.
don't
I
dispute
got
you
you.
on this point. I agree. Just because jobs were accrued under the administration does not mean that those jobs were caused by the Biden administration. I'm not disputing you there. But that's
Okay,
not
okay,
the,
okay.
that's not what
And
the point I
then,
made. I didn't make the
fair,
point
fair,
about
fair.
jobs reports.
Okay, okay. Well, you showed the graph, but like,
That was
so
real domestic
before,
manufacturing investment.
yeah, no, and it was a fair graph. I'm not saying that, but what I'm getting at is like the what was going on prior to that, which was like from 2008 when Obama came into office. The idea was always we were going to move minimum wage to $15. It never happened. It still hasn't happened. But in a Trump economy around 2016, it kind of became just the standard of the world. You don't really see anybody hiring for less than $15 an hour anymore. And it didn't have to be done with a
What?
law.
That's just wait.
You don't.
That's just not true. Like I mean, sorry, you can go places all around the U.S. where you see them hiring less than $15 an hour. The minimum
Not
wage right now is
really.
$7.25. Hasn't
McDonald's,
changed since 2009.
no, almost like McDonald's pays $15 an hour, man. Where are you working that you're not making 15
Not
an
wherever,
hour?
not wherever. Like in L.A., sure, but like in other places around in the
I live
United
in
States, no.
Memphis, Tennessee. We are considered the lowest. We were actually passed over it by Amazon when I worked there at that time, where they moved everybody to a $25 minimum wage. We were left at 16.50 because they said that the cost of living here didn't require us to make that much more money. So no, that is not true. But it was still 16.50, and McDonald's here still pays. I think it's 18 an hour. Actually, you can look into it.
Well, that would be specifically where you live, but all around the country, it's not. That's
This
not
is
the
Memphis,
case.
Tennessee. Are you aware how poor Memphis, Tennessee is?
Well, if it was the case that was the case, and it was specifically just because of the fact that it's $15 everywhere without the actual minimum wage being that much, which is not true, right? Other
That's
places around,
indicative of a good economy.
hey, listen to this. Other places around the United States, they uphold the 725, right? And there are people that are making that. Okay, you denying
Name
that?
them.
Yeah, so you can. You want me to name the states?
You want
Businesses.
evidence from me every single time. I want to know who is hiring at 725 right
So
now,
are
right?
you
In what
asking
state? And where?
businesses or what states?
Businesses and where? Give me either
So
one.
I have to go find the businesses now. Like we know that
Well, I mean,
specifically.
you want me to find all this stuff? Like, I mean, like I have to go find the exact thing I read a year ago about you and Parker. Dean. So like, like you can't find anything for me. You're saying that it's abundantly done. It should be easy to find.
Okay.
I mean, it's the minimum wage. I'm sure somebody pays it. So where is it? Well, give you all the time you need. Not saying again that it doesn't exist. I'm saying it's gonna be a hard time to find it.
No, because you can already see the minimum wage. I can show you from the Alabama Department of Labor. It's 725. I can show you
Well,
specifically.
you can say that. You
from,
can't show me
hold
where
up,
they're hiring for that.
Can I please? Can I
Show me a
please?
job posting at a entry level position job posting at 725. Parker, come on now. You know what I'm asking for.
I have to give him a job posting on fucking Indeed. Are you kidding me?
Look, hold on. You can say that the law says it. I said the law says it. I said indicative of the economy is that they didn't have to change the law for companies to do it on their own. Come on now. So if you can't show a place that is hiring at 725, you can just go, the law says that they can hire at 725. You're making my point.
There are people in the chat that know people that make 725. Okay.
They're also accusing
the
me of
fact that-
lying about my aunt and all
Hey,
this.
listen,
So what does
listen,
that mean?
Listen. Okay. You can go to these areas, right? I grew up in Iowa. I went back to Iowa recently, right? Specifically, right? In Iowa, there is a lower minimum wage, and the lower minimum wage is paid, right? And it is the case that people get
By
jobs for that
who?
all the
You were
time.
there. By who? You were just there. You got this data while you were there. Who told you that? Where were they working?
One, I can't say that because it's specifically areas in which it would be people I know. Secondly, as it
You
relates
don't
to
have to
this
tell me what
local,
city it was in Iowa. You don't have to tell me anything like that. You can
yeah,
just say
but
a
you understand.
company.
Hey, local businesses tell you where you are, right? And I am not going to do that any further than what I've already done.
Okay. All right.
I mean, again, I can tell you specific businesses, like the larger businesses in general, specifically higher at that minimum wage level. Okay.
Name one.
Name the state or name the company.
The company.
Okay, I'll name a fucking. I'll go find a. It's so frustrating because you know what's annoying. We know damn well that this is the case, and you're making me go look up a fucking name of a company to just believe it to be true when it's the fucking minimum wage in these different states based upon the fucking labor statistics. In their
You know
own
what's
fucking
extremely
states.
frustrating?
It's
You know
so
what's extremely
frustrating. I fucking hate people
No,
like
no,
you.
no.
I hate people like you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yes, I
Again,
do.
and
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. The fact that I have to go search up a company paying a fucking minimum wage in a different state, like, it's actually ridiculous. It's so absurd to me. It's so fucking absurd. I can't even fucking believe I have to spend my time going to find a fucking company that's $7.25 when we know damn well there are companies that pay $7.25 because it's the fucking minimum wage. It's so dishonest. It's so fucking dishonest. I have to go and fucking search through Indeed articles in order to be able to find a fucking specific company that hires people for the fucking minimum wage. I can't even fucking believe it. It's actually unbelievable. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Give me 1 second, everyone, because we have to wait fucking years to be able to... it takes me a second to be able to find this. Because I have to find a fucking specific Indeed thing for $7.25. How about this? Labor Department data from 2020 indicating that $7.25 an hour was paid by specifically to 250,000 people. Would you take that from the Labor Department data? That a certain amount of people were paid $7.25?
something you just read out of the chat and you couldn't find online.
No, I have an article.
You get
I'm looking.
and remember how this is your only job. You told me it's the only way you're paid, and now you're asked to do a little bit of research. And oh my god, it's so frustrating, so terrible.
No,
To have to do a little research. Oh my god, Parker, cry a little more.
So you're just
What,
rage
buddy?
baiting. That's it. That's what you're rage
Am
baiting.
I? I've been very nice.
You don't
to
have any
bro.
intellectual response.
Calm
You're just
down,
rage
dude.
baiting.
You just
That was not
muted me
very
that
nice.
entire time while you tried to drag me.
Are you mad? Are you mad, bro? Yeah, so that's the Labor Department data that indicates that, bro. It's actually insane. You're just rage baiting. You're not actually intellectually engaging with my points. Do you want to engage with those points? You can unmute your mic, man. Do you accept the Labor Department? Unmute yourself, man. If you can figure it out.
You muted me, brother.
Yeah, and you can unmute yourself at any point.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Not when you mute me. No, I can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, you can. I do it all
Well,
the time
I'm not
when I join other
as
people's
smart
streams.
as you with this. I don't know this, so I don't know
You're
how.
not smart enough to click the unmute button in the bottom right?
It looks like it's muted by you, and I can't do it. Sorry,
And
I
you
did not
can
know
do
I
that
could.
even though I muted you.
I didn't know. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I didn't know.
So do you accept the information from the Labor Department data?
I'll accept that if you think that 250,000 out of maybe 180 million Americans working is a lot, or is even indicative of something that's a statistic. I mean, sure, whatever.
So it is. It's at least
It's less
relevant
than
to
a
bring up.
percent.
That is the minimum
It's
wage.
less than a percent.
That's still the minimum wage, all right? And people are paid that in the
It's
context
less
of the
than
United
1%
States.
of people
And
all
we're
in the United
advocating.
States. It's hardly a talking
That
point.
doesn't change anything. What's your point?
It does. No, it does. 100% does. because we're talking about
How?
indicative of a good economy and not having to
Wait,
change a
if you
law.
want to talk about good economy, let's look at the overall metrics. So inflation has gone up
Yeah,
since April. And
overall metrics would
can
indicate
I?
that pays. No, you can't. You have to,
Yes, I can. Ray, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much.
and you just
Thank
told
you.
me I can unmute. So sorry, I can do that.
Well, you are muted again.
Just make your point, Parker.
Yeah, you can keep going. I'll just keep muting you until you're done.
I muted myself. You're good. Go.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so the minimum wage specifically going up still will lead to an increase in wages across the entire economy, right? If you want to look at the overall level at which the economy is doing right now, well, then we want to look at specifically the fact that real GDP has declined in terms of its growth. We can look at unemployment increase since Trump got in office. We can look at the jobs report was so bad that Trump fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, claiming that the information that was coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics was politically biased. Right? We can also point to the fact that inflation has gone up since April and Liberation Day tariffs were dropped, and it's trending up continually.
Okay. You can also look at just the overall average American makes more money since Donald Trump became president than any time in history, and that's just a fact.
Real median wages have declined in its growth since
Not true.
Trump got in
Not
office.
no.
It is
No,
factual. If
that's
you look
not
at
true.
quarter one and quarter two, that's true. Yes, it is.
Oh, 2016 or now?
No, now.
Oh yeah, because you won't talk about 2016 from the Obama presidency to now,
What? Why would we compare that?
because it's part of his one of two terms. Sorry, y'all split him in half,
Why would we
but
go
you
all the way back
did.
to Obama? Why don't we go to Biden? And also, like,
Because
in that in of itself,
Biden dealt
yes,
with a very odd economy because of COVID, and everyone in the world knows it was one of the most unique scenarios. And to base all of our metrics off of that scenario is fair, I guess, because I mean, you got to do something. But like, we can all kind of come to an agreement that that was a moment in time that is kind of weird. So if we go back to a moment in time that was more
So
normal,
why was unemployment better? Why were the jobs report better? Why specifically was the
because
context for
people were
real
laid
GDP
off
growth
from
better?
their jobs due to COVID. So once they
In
got their jobs
2024, we're
back,
talking about in 2024, genius.
okay, well, that's not what you said.
That's what we were just talking about. I said at the end of the Biden-Harris administration. That's what I was talking about. By the time that
I was
Trump
talking
was
about the
getting into
beginning,
office,
so because all his metrics come from the beginning to the end. See,
we were talking about since Trump got into office, the comparison by the end of Biden's term to the beginning of Trump's. That's what we were talking about the whole time. I'm sorry you weren't tracking.
I mean, I was going to use all of Donald Trump's from the Democrat before him to the Democrat after him to then the Democrat that preceded him again the second time. You know what I mean? Because that's how you would go off something, because there's radical differences between them during Biden and during Obama. Well, Obama was actually, Obama wasn't a bad president, to be honest. But during Biden, Biden honestly was more of a lame duck than anything, honestly, too. He just really didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Donald Trump is making actionable moves that, while I don't agree with some, I'm not a big fan of the tariffs of North American countries like Mexico and Canada. But the tariffs have been widely working with China and getting us better trade deals than we've ever had in the past. And that's a fact. You know that. Okay,
What did
come
we
on,
get
Parker.
better in terms of the trade deal? Name one thing that
We
was
were looking
better.
at a 157% deficit with China, and it's 10% now.
There being a difference in the trade deficit doesn't change anything. Do you know what a trade deficit is?
Yes, how much you're losing in your trade.
Nope. That's not what a trade deficit is.
What is it then, Parker?
Yeah, so a trade deficit is specifically the distinction between exports and imports, right? So a trade deficit essentially is the idea that we're importing more than we are exporting to their country. So specifically that being the case does not necessarily mean that it's a bad thing, because it is the case that it's all it is showing is that as American consumers decide to buy products from their country, but they don't decide to buy products from our country, which is totally fine. So the same degree, by the way.
Okay, and so then at a 150% deficit, we are basically exporting nothing. And at a 10% deficit, we are, in a way, almost at equal trade.
No, that doesn't mean we're exporting more. It just means that we're importing less.
Which gives American companies an opportunity to have a chance because they don't have a chance
They do
because
have a chance.
Chinese
So
slave
you're
labor
you're saying so you
puts them
say
out of business.
so if you talk about that, then why are there tariffs on Canada? Why are there tariffs on a bunch of different countries around the world that
What
don't
did I
have that particular
just
type of
say
labor?
about that?
Secondly, we can address the context in terms of this, that if you impose tariffs on those countries, that it reduces the likelihood in which they're going to have better labor standards. It actually reduces the labor standards in those countries because they want to compete with the US market, even given the implementation of the tariff, which is actually creates an incentive for them to reduce their labor standards. So actually you're advocating for even worse standards in those countries unless you specifically advocate for the certain policies like I do, like advocating for tariffs specifically on the companies, right, that specifically engage in that particular labor practice.
Well, actually, that is how I feel about it. I do actually think that it should be more targeted toward people who are in the uh, how would you say, the realm of slave labor. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that that is pretty fair. You know what I mean? Again, look, I'm here to learn, debate, speak. You know what I mean? Like, you asked why I support Trump. I told you why I support Trump. You know what I mean? You can not like my reasoning, but that doesn't mean I have to go with your reasoning. You know what I mean? And you can say, oh, it's this, it's that, whatever. But some guy on TikTok, you would never in a million years just go, oh, that means I have to now believe that because some guy on TikTok told me I should. You know what I mean? It's just not how it works.
No, I'm not saying you just have to believe it because I said it. I'm saying you can research it and you'll see that I'm right.
Then I asked you to research something and you got really upset.
Because the point that you were asking me to research was something stupid.
According to you, not to me.
Now, according to everyone in the fucking world, everyone in the world can realize that was stupid. You're asking me for
I'm
instead of
getting a lot
addressing
of
that
your
the federal minimum
a
wage is
lot
that
of your
you were
people who are
asking me
donating
to
are
find
donating
you were
the same
asking
to
me to
me.
find you were asking me to find a specific Indeed post. That was like a person paying getting paid $7.25. Like that was what you
You
were
said
trying
it's
to get me to show.
everywhere.
And that was true. It was true because the Labor Department data indicated over 250,000 people.
Out of how many working Americans?
That doesn't matter. I'm saying that
Stats
many.
matter, man. Like, is Steph Curry a good 3-point shooter if he hits 1 out of 100 or if he hits 33 out of 100? You know what I mean? Stats
no,
matter.
we're just claiming that some people are still paid that. You asked me. Your original claim was you asked me
I
for.
said obviously. If
Your original claim was you were asking me for one example.
I can unmute myself, Parker.
I'll mute you again. You were
Who
asking for.
cares? I don't give a fuck.
Well, you're mad. Right. So again, you asked for one example of this being the case. I gave you 250,000 examples, and then now you're
Not a
saying that's
single
not
one.
enough.
Not a single one.
That's why I said that you're dishonest, and this is why I say that you're disingenuous.
Not an actionable single one. You couldn't find one. I challenge you to still do it.
These are 250,000 individual ones specifically from the Labor Department data.
Name one.
I just told you from the Labor Department data indicates 250,000 people
Name
are
one
paid
position
$7.25.
available right now. You can't do it.
I told you there's 250,000 according to Labor Department data.
And I told you you can't name one.
I don't need to.
I say you do.
Okay. Well, you're an idiot.
Well, that's just called name calling. You want to provide evidence to make me not
You're just
support
rage
Trump.
baiting.
Do it.
Sonoma, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Daniel, thank you for the $7. Thank you so much. Daniel literally sent me an Indeed post. Daniel, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm not even gonna don't even
Show
worry.
it.
No, I'm good. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you for the
It doesn't
$5. Thank you.
exist.
Well, you can say that. I don't care. Thank you so much, Ian. They said I was a
Beg
student
for your
worker at my.
money.
They said I was a student worker at my college. I was paid $7.25. Erica, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the $6. Thank you so much, Erica. Dominica, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $6. Thank you. And for the $50, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For the DNC, thank you so much. Good some W's for Dominica. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $50 from the DNC. Thank you. Jessica, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ashton, thank you for the $3. Thank you. They said Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Papa John's pays $7.25. Will you take that?
Sure. That's fine. They also to get tips. I mean, tip employees typically do make a lower wage, which is not fair. I'm very against that as well. My wife's a bartender, so I have a big problem with that as well. So yeah, I'm there.
So is that an example that you accepted?
Yeah, I'll take it. Well, I asked for one and you gave one. What's the problem with that, Parker?
The fact that you knew it was dishonest because he doesn't change your mind at all.
No, I
and
didn't.
We don't move
Why
at
did it
all.
not change my mind? How do you know it didn't change my mind? Why are you speaking for me?
The conversation isn't going to change from that. Knight, thank you so much for the Galaxy. Chelsea, thank you for the $10. Thank you. Thank you so much. Stephanie, thank you for
What
the
conversation is gonna
$7.25
change
for the
that?
minimum pay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yehoshua, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $15. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get some W's
That
for
is light.
Yehoshua in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. Yehoshua, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. As well as Ray, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Jessica with the $5. Iris, thank you for the $5. Absolutely. Sean, thank you for the $2. Thank you. Lady Warrior, thank you for the $10. Max Lee, thank you so much for the $10. Valerie with the $10. Thank you. Thank you. As well as Dominica, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $3.42. Thank you.
At what point do I start speaking in and let you stop talking about your money?
Never. Thank you so much
Okay.
for the corgi. Thank you so much, Fatima. Thank you for the corgi. Go
I just
ahead.
want to know. I would just like to know. I keep being called Ray.
Sorry, I can't make out what you're saying over the fact that you just got muted.
Will you ask?
What? Terry, thank you for the $25 on Venmo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much.
Bye, crybaby.
Oh, look at him yapping. He's so mad. Aw.
Boo! I'm Parker, crybaby.
Aw, he's so mad. Look at little Hunter.
I need money, y'all.
Look at little Hunter. He's so mad. Tiffany, thank you for the $1.11.
Everybody.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you for the $1.11. Hunter's so mad. Look at
I'll
Hunter.
never make anything.
Look at Hunter.
I'm a
Christian,
little
thank you so much for the
boy, I'll never
$5. Thank you,
make money.
Christian. Thank you, Christian. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Please, please. Just send me money. Thank you, loyal demons. Fucking loser.
You're just mad, bro. Are you mad? Are you jealous? You just called people who send you money demons. Loyal demons. Can we get some W for the loyal demons in the comment section right now? W loyal
Can we
demons
get
in the
a
comment
dog?
section right now. Thank you so much for all the support. I really appreciate my loyal demons. Adam, thank you for the $100 from the DNC. Thank you so much, my loyal demon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Adam, thank you for the $100 from the Demon National Committee. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, Adam. I really appreciate it. W's for Adam in the comment section right now. Thank you so much.
You mute me so much. It's fun.
I know, right? Anthony, thank you. Anthony,
You're
thank
so
you so much for the
scared
push.
of
The
me.
$5 for the proud demon rat. Thank you.
Terrified of my voice.
Yeah, I am terrified, like everyone else, because it's so gross. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate the loyal demons.
Scaredy cat.
Tiffany, thank you for the
Come on.
$1.11 from my loyal demon. Thank you very much. Naomi, thank you for the $20 for I'm a loyal demon, I guess. Thank you so much, Naomi. I really appreciate the $20. Thank you so much.
Listen to him begging for money. It's
Fabian,
so
thank you
funny.
so much for the $15 for a part of the demon community. Thank you very much.
Every
Shang
time
Li,
he
thank you
thinks
so
for
much
me,
for the
I'll go,
$100 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Shang Li. Thank you. Can we get some W's for them in the comment section right now? Thank you so much. Felonious, thank you for the
Yes,
$10.
dude.
Thank you so much for the demon bucks. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Andrew, thank you for the
super
$5.
jealous,
Thank you
y'all.
so much. I really appreciate it. For feed us
So
demons those
jealous.
delicious Hunter tears.
Yep, I'm crying, man.
You're so mad, bro. Danae, thank you so much. I appreciate the $15 for the demon community. Unite, thank you so much. Chelsea, thank you for the $7.20.
Yeah, follow me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $7.25. Thank you.
Yeah, you wish, buddy.
Odessa, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Odessa, thank you. All right, is this
How
make
do
you
you
mad?
feel?
Does this
No,
make
I
you
just
so
wanna know
mad?
how you feel.
Katie, thank you for the $20 for the loyal demon club fee.
I just want to know how you feel while you do it.
What's up? AJ, thank you for the $6.66. Yehoshua, thank you for the $4. Mark, thank you for the $6.66 for the Demonic National Committee. Dominica, thank you so much. Really appreciate the $17 from the Canadian DNC. Katie, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Marianne, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you. Can we get some W's from Marianne in the comment section right now?
Thanks for
Thank
the
you,
lightning
everyone,
bolt
for
for
the
the
loyal
roses,
demons.
everybody.
Thank you, my loyal
Thank you,
demons. Thank
Walk
you
Off,
so
for the
much.
roses.
Natalie, thank you for the $5 from a loyal
Appreciate
demon.
you, Walk Off, for those
Thank you so
roses.
much.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thank
See,
you.
I just feel like a dork even
Thank
thanking
you.
people for all
Thank
the
you
stuff
so
they're
much.
saying
I
to
really,
me.
Hunter. I really appreciate the support, man. Thank you so much for getting the loyal demons out
Dude,
there.
I'm
to
making you
support.
a lot of money, ain't
Laura,
I?
thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. You better be. You must be so jealous.
How much money have I made you, Parker?
He must be so jealous. $1 trillion.
No, seriously, I want to know, honestly. How
Naima,
much
thank you
have
for
I
the
made you in last,
$5.
like,
Thank you so much
hour?
for Parker's 10th demon child. Thank you.
No, seriously, in the last couple, like, I just want to know.
Lishay,
genuinely,
thank
like,
you
what
so
are
much for the
making right
$5
now?
for your loyal demons. Thank you.
Can't even say it. That's
Mary, thank you
interesting.
for the $5. Thank you so much. Pal, thank you for the $5. Thank you. I actually have no clue, by the way.
Thanks for the dolphin. Okay, I have no clue at all. Like, any even ballpark?
Nope.
Is it like thousands a day, every day, probably?
I make trillions of dollars every day, man.
I mean, like thousands isn't crazy to say, Parker. You're not being an asshole by saying that. I mean, you're making hundreds and hundreds right here. I hear it. So I mean, like, it's not crazy to say.
Dude, I make
It's a
I make
genuine
trillions
question.
a day. Ledge, thank you for the $3.33. Thank you. Stephanie with the $100 for the demon tears. Thank you so much. Can we get some W's for Stephanie in the comment section right now for the $100? Laura, thank you for the $1. Thank you. Jay, thank you for the $2. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate the Dolphins, CC.
He's clearly jealous. You know, Hunter, I really appreciate all the support. Thank you so much, Hunter. You know,
Dude, I'm making you so
you're
much
actually
money.
my
Have a good
number
one.
one. Hunter, you're my number one fan. Thank you so much.
I actually do enjoy you, Parker. I really do.
So wait, Hunter, would you say that you're a loyal demon?
No, I would say though that I do absorb a lot of your content. So you probably make some money off my views.
Oh, he's a loyal demon, chat. He's a loyal demon. Look at him. What
Hey
a
man, I
loyal
respect
demon.
smart people. I respect smart people. You know, what I mean, I think you are a smart person. You know, so that's just that. Sorry.
Really? You think I'm a smart person?
I do. Yeah. I think differing opinions can be okay, and people will still be smart.
Do you think you're a smart person?
Well, I think that's very conceited to say. I find myself smart in the things that
Smart
I
people
choose
don't
to be
like
smart
me.
in.
Smart people don't like me. Smart people don't like me. Smart people don't like me. Smart people don't like me.
Laura, thank you so much
Sound
for the
close,
dollar. I
so
really
fun.
appreciate it. Thank you so much, Laura. I really appreciate it. Get some W's for Laura in
20
the comment section right
roses,
now.
20
Thank you so
roses,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The little
I'm
dog.
talking
Thank you so much for the
thousands of these
$30.
things.
Thank you
I
so
even-
much, the little dog. Thank you. Joe, thank you for the $10 for Hunter's Education Fund. Thank you very much. Allie, thank you
Hey,
for the
Parker,
$7 and
I just got a
25 cents.
question.
Thank you.
I have a genuine question.
Go ahead.
What do these little gifts everybody's sending me even mean?
You're not getting anything.
Okay, I didn't think so. But like, what does it really mean? Why are they doing it?
Oh, those are gifts. Those are money.
But I don't get it.
Nope, you don't get anything. Brandon, think of the dollar. All of that goes to me.
That's dope.
I know, right?
I mean, like, I'm not here to make money, man. I was just wondering. It's a
Brandon,
genuine
thank you for
question.
the dollar. Thank you so much, Brandon. Jaos, thank you for the hand hearts. Any last
Does
words?
it actually all go to you for real?
Yep, 100%.
Are you playing like don't play
Felicia,
with me
thank you
for
for the
real.
$6.66 for the demon bucks. Danielle, thank you for the $6.66 for the demon.
Enjoy that name I gave you.
Thank you for the corgi.
Can somebody in the chat tell me the truth? Because he's a fucking retard. So please.
Oh,
tell me
you're
the
just going to use
truth.
a slur? Immediately kicked. Get the fuck out. All right, we're getting off. That was enough of a waste of my time. Holy fuck. Elizabeth, thank you for the $3 for smart people don't like me. I know, right? Crazy. Trump said that. Nuts. Thank you for the hand heart. All right, everyone. I'm going to get off for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for coming up and onto the stream. I love y'all so much. Have a fantastic night. I will see everyone later. Peace out, everyone. I'll see everyone tomorrow, probably later in the day. Hopefully, my internet is fine by tomorrow. I love y'all. Good night, everyone.